Welcome, everybody. It is Monday evening, and you know what that means for CF1 fans. We got ourselves the Eastern region coming at you tonight with some action. I'm Beanie's joined alongside my partner for the evening, Josh Beard. And Josh, buddy, we got ourselves quite a match to look forward to tonight as Virginia Tech is going to be taking on the UNF Ospreys. And with these matches getting closer and closer to the end of Split 1, every single game can be make or break for all these teams.
Oh, 100%. I'm excited to see these two squads face off against each other. We've seen Virginia Tech really put it to everybody they've gone against for the most part this season. I think their only loss so far this year is against PSU or Rutgers. I'd have to go back and look, but they only have one loss. They're 5-1 right now. And you look at UNF and you look at the Ospreys and you say, okay, it was against Rutgers. Okay. You look at the Ospreys and you say, okay, they're 2-4, but they actually had a really, really close match against Rutgers. I believe they lost. It was 13-10, then 13-5. But in that map one, when they played Rutgers, they looked good against them. And so UNF is a squad that I think everybody needs to keep their eyes on, where it's like, maybe this looks a little bit like a disparity between these two teams. It looks like there might be a little bit of a skill gap between these two teams. But like you said, we're coming to the end of this first split. We're in week 7. We're in round 7 of this split. UNF needs to make some moves now if they're going to make moves. And it's going to be tough going against Virginia Tech, trying to take on the 5-1 team. But maybe they have some stuff up their sleeve and could really surprise everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And in the other Eastern region group, you can see the Ryerson University Shorty Kings and Miami Redhawks are also sitting atop this group with 6-0 standings. They are actually playing tonight off broadcast. That's a huge match with implications for the end of this split here. The winner of that is most likely going to be sitting at the top of Eastern group number 2. So can't wait to catch up and see who takes that victory tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, just to point out, going into Split 2 at the end of Round 9, the top 6 teams from every group are the only teams that make it through the Split 2. So if you want to keep playing for the spring semester in CF1, you're going to have to make sure that you crack that top 6. And as you can see here, if the standings ended this week, Limestone in Group 2 would just barely be squeaking into Split number 2. But as you can see, Josh, the bottom half of Group number 2 here is honestly anybody's map to take. I mean, it's just everyone beats everyone, and somehow we have 3 group teams with 2 wins.
Well, it's kind of, we see that we saw both East regions are kind of in that same boat, and really, honestly, like the Central, the West, they all look like that. Where we're pretty set in stone at the top of the rankings in each region that we've seen. But at the bottom, there's a lot of duking it out that's going to go on. It's going to be interesting. That's why, this match that we're going to see tonight between the Ospreys and Virginia Tech, this isn't necessarily a do or die moment, but it's getting close to that cutting time for UNF, and they need something big to happen. If they can pull out a win tonight, well, then that's one step closer that they get to making it to the second split. And it's for schools like Limestone, Embry-Riddle, Niagara, that it's going to be the same thing. You have to get some wins. You have to pull something out to be the first one of these first teams that hits 3-5, or within the next couple of weeks hits, 3-4, and maybe hit 4-4, and really put yourself in the middle of the pack so you can make it to split 2 and see if you can make some adjustments and changes. I said Niagara, I meant NYT. Niagara, I'm pretty sure that they might have a chance, but I'm pretty sure that they're out of it so far, 0-6. But we see this across all these regions, right? The bottom half of all these regions, they're going to be fighting it out every single week.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be quite the show with the remaining weeks of CF1. As these teams, they've had quite the time to establish themselves as powerhouses, whether or not. And speaking of powerhouses, we've got power rankings here, the very first here for CF1. Myself, CF1 Presidente, Kiernan, and of course, everyone knows CF1 Scotty, with, I guess, working with Mr. Krabs in that Krabby Patty secret formula of his. But you can see our first power rankings here coming into week number 7. I want to know, before we get into our match tonight, Josh, what are you liking from these lists? What are you not liking? I mean, across the board, we can see there's a few things that we can agree on, but I'm just going to say straight up, I do not regret putting Penn State at number 2. Okay. I am going to ride Penn State straight on to split 2, seeing what they can do with this magic.
I don't hate the Penn State pick. That's the thing. If you look at all these teams that are at the top of each of these regions, all these undefeated teams, these 6-0 teams, a couple of the ones that are 5-1, these are all good teams that and any given night can beat each other, right? There are a couple of teams that I would say are definitely at the top of this. I'd say SJSU is one team that I'd say is at the top of the list of, okay, they're probably the skill gap is starting to get a little bit higher. OSU is another one, but PSU is not a bad squad. We've seen them go out and compete at a high level against some of the best teams in CF1 before. So I don't hate that pick. Where I have an issue, and I'm going to take off my unbiased caster hat for a second, where I have an issue, Beanies, is you put Texas A&M all the way at number 7. What are you doing to me, Beanies? We're not friends for 30 seconds because of this. You and I cannot be friends for 30 seconds. We'll resume being friends 30 seconds from now, and now my unbiased caster hat goes right back on.
I swear there's logic behind this, Josh. I swear. I mean, there was numbers and everything where I swear Texas A&M, they're a great team, but I mean, we're talking about strength of schedule and the strength of groups. And honestly, if you're asking my opinion, the best group in CF1 is going to be that Western region. I mean, we didn't have the standings pulled up tonight, but with San Jose State topping out 2 of these 3 lists, you can see I sprinkled in quite a bit of the Western region in mine. And if you look at the standings as well, there are multiple teams that are sitting at the top in a tiebreaker right now. I believe if I just quickly pull them up, we have 3 teams at 4 wins in the Western region, and then 2 teams or 4 teams at 4 wins, and 2 teams at 3 wins. So the Western region as a whole, quite honestly, could have the majority of split 2s, powerful teams taken over.
Yeah, and look at all 3 of these power rankings between you, Kieran, and Scott. Every single one of these, you just see the same teams listed over and over again. This just shows at the top of CF1, it's really anybody's game. If I had to say my top 3, I probably wouldn't have Texas A&M in my top 3 either. If I'm being completely honest with myself and everybody else, I would have something a little bit. I think I'd have SJSU number 1. I'd have OSU number 2. And then it'd be a toss-up. It's difficult for me. It'd be a toss-up between Miami or PSU for number 3 overall. I don't hate that PSU pick at number 2. I think you might be on to something with that, Beanies.
Well, I mean, that's the exciting thing about these power rankings and the fact that we're going to have a lot of big matches happening this week. As we mentioned, Miami and Ryerson battling it out off screen or off stream. And I mean, if we see Ryerson take down Miami, you can see across the board, a lot of people think Miami is quite the team to be reckoned with, but Ryerson going to have quite the opportunity to make a name for themselves there as well, folks. And as we've had a chance to take a look at their power rankings, I just want to remind everyone one more time while you're in the chat, if you want to drop a follow to the CF1 channel, maybe show some love to the CF1 community, follow us on Twitter as well. Stay up to date with everything happening for the remainder of the CF1 season, or Split 1, because these next 3 weeks are going to have a lot of action coming your way, and it's going to be neck and neck to see who can actually make it into Split number 2.
Who do you think is real about this matchup tonight with UNF and Ospreys? I like seeing the Ascent map first. That's the map. That's map 1. That's what we're going to go into. But who do you think out of these 2 teams? Ascent it's become way more popular. We've joked around about it before, where it's like Ascent used to be a luxury pick. It used to be like, we used to get excited about it. Now it just kind of happens. Now going to Ascent, which one of these 2 teams would you say has a little bit more of the leg up going into this map?
I want to say Virginia Tech. I mean, just going off what they've done already, this team, I mean, looking at their performances, we mentioned they went very close with, I believe, Penn State already, just barely losing out against that squad and putting up wins against everybody else. Or excuse me, they've yet to verse Penn State. They lost to Scarlet Knights. They've beat everybody else. They're just looking to take on Penn State to see what they can do at the end of the split. But honestly, I think Virginia Tech is really looking to cement themselves as a top 3 team rather than the top of the bottom 4 teams here. And I think that they're going to have to do it off the back of this Reyna Jet double duelist composition coming in here. Josh, I want to get your thoughts on that, because we actually have that on both teams. As I say that, quite honestly, mirror compositions, I think, coming in here. So Josh, loading up on the Ascent, what are you thinking?
I have so many issues with the double duelist for the most part in competitive play.
Okay.
I feel like I'd rather have a little bit more utility. But what we've seen from a lot of these teams in play so far throughout the last the 6 weeks before this coming into round 7, we've seen a lot of double duelist. And look, if you've got somebody that's strong on Jet, you've got one of your top fraggers on Jet. That's a good thing. And having the rain of flashes, that's always going to be beneficial. But I don't always love having the double duelist. The good thing about Reyna, though, even if she is a little bit weaker than she has been in the past, she still has good utility. So at least they're picking somebody who's got some good utility, can start those fights and really initiate the way you want them to. But I probably would have gone in a different direction, maybe like a Phoenix or something like that. Get a little bit more utility, somebody that can initiate just a little bit stronger than Reyna can. But I don't hate it. And really what it comes down to is, who are these teams? Who are these players comfortable with? What are the comps that they've worked on? What are they comfortable with as a team? And that's what's most important. As we see Virginia Tech moving very quickly over onto A right now, going through A main, smoking it off, going ahead and throwing out that Lear, closing the door and moving very quickly. This is an aggressive push, Beanies.
And this is what you want to be seeing, honestly, Josh. When Virginia Tech rolls out onto the site and takes control of it that fast, they're guaranteed the spike plant, which everyone knows is a massive amount of income to get in that pistol round. And now everything else is going to be icing on the cake for Virginia Tech. But the Ospreys, nicely done. They don't overcommit to anything. And that's what I really liked from them. And I want to see if they can come out with a good retake here. They're taking their time. They have a split 2-3, 2 and 4 is 3 on Heaven. They're coming out with the execute, but Spy Chicken and Dawn are going to be picking up those eliminations. And it's all going in favor of Virginia Tech, only losing one member. And just like that, the offense, it's a quick spike plant and gets a 4 for 1 or 5 for 1.
And it's being able to rush into A like that and get set up as quickly as you can is so beneficial for a team like Virginia Tech, because then you get into the retake positions that you want. You plant the spike and you sit and force UNF to make mistakes. And that's what's so great about being aggressive in these moments. Sometimes you can't be. Sometimes it's more beneficial to wait it out and kind of keep people on their toes. But if you know you can get on the A side early in the pistol rounds like that and get in the right spots, and force the subject, you can force UNF or you can force the other team to make mistakes, and that's exactly what Virginia Tech did right there.
And now with this second round bye coming in from Virginia Tech, it's going to be interesting how they are able to exert their dominance over their opponents now. With this gun difference, they're going to have the opportunity to make a 1-0 turn into a 2-0. But it's very slow movement here from Virginia Tech. The defense also going to be playing very cautious, but they're expecting that A push. They're expecting something to come from the A side here. Monkey style, though, getting a little too big for their britches. Going to be stepping out onto the catwalk, and Kixer is going to send them back to the changing room there, folks. With the rest of Virginia Tech looking to take control of the site. Cam just misses on the left click. Doesn't miss the second time. Takes down one, but it's returned fire by Dinos. And now, as it's going... Ooh, Soup! Nice little shock arrow. Going to be taking down Waffle as well. I'd love to see a replay of that one. But the spike is going to get planted now. And with a 2 versus 4 here, Josh, it's not looking very promising for this defense that's under-equipped.
No, I mean, the 2v4 is always going to be a problem, but that kill by Kixer earlier, I don't even know how he pulled that off. Absolutely incredible by Virginia Tech. They played it a little bit slower there, right? Like they made UNF think, okay, are they going to be? Are they not pushing here? Where are they? And then all of a sudden, you come out of trees, you see somebody around the corner, and you're dropped. You don't know what to do, right? And so Virginia Tech doing exactly what we kind of talked about before, where it's like, let's keep them on their toes. We're not going to keep doing the same thing every single time, but it pays off for them in the long run. I actually thought UNF was in pretty good spots. They just overextended a little bit and didn't wait to take that map control. I think it was important for them to sit back and really kind of take control of the right angles instead of pushing forward too much. That push forward is what allowed Virginia Tech to take control.
Ooh, and now with a 2-0 in Virginia Tech's favor, they're going to have the bonus buy still, and they do have the guns to do so. But looking at I do damage now, you see the Vandal in the defense's hand. They really have to make sure they get a round win out of this, because if UNF cannot take the W in this first round, they're going to have a hard time stabilizing that economy. But Mashu-sama, excuse me, it just blurred all together there until one. It's like my space bar got broken in my brain or something. But Dino's going to be taking down Cam, and Mashu-sama is going to follow up with another elimination. So now the Jet from the Ospreys is looking to carry through this round, but the spike is going down on the A site yet again for the third time.
I mean, the A side, it's just, if you can get there and you can get the push on it, it's so easy to set up and defend on the retake, because you can put a couple of people underneath, put them in hell, make sure that you, like exactly what you saw right there with Dino, it's just firing from the floor and making sure you can get in the right spots. But the angles are much more beneficial for holding off the defense on the retake. Oh man, as Matsushima goes down by Dino's right there, what a great shot by that. And then I do damage getting Dino. Soup taking down Waffle. Can he clutch it out? Soup taking down I do damage 12 to clutch it out for the attackers. That was close. That was a really great retake opportunity by UNF. They moved in quickly, but I do damage. Dino says no.
Yeah, and you can see that Virginia Tech getting very close to losing out on that round there. I mean, what? Silva had just about 30 HP, I think, at the end of that fight. So very close, but that's one of the things that really stings a little more there, because now UNF just barely losing that round. They're going to have a hard time coming back. You can see the buys are far and few between. And that was ultimately a very good round in terms of taking down Virginia Tech's economy, but they just missed the mark, not finishing off that final kill. So UNF going to have to come back now 3-0. We've seen it before. This is no big mountain to climb just yet. Still just a small hill. You know, all it takes is one good round to swing it back in your favor, and very much so the defense here is spreading their love, expecting a change of pacer from the offense, and rightly so. It's been A site every push, but now you can see Virginia Tech, Josh, is playing around with that B site and possibly going up their main.
Yeah, moving very slowly, just kind of feeling out the map, trying to figure out where UNF is right now. UNF in very good spots, have full map control. The one thing that I don't like is they left mid a little bit too open. They've got one person there who's now finally kind of looking at it, but as you see, Virginia Tech move up mid. J-Don takes down I do damage 12. Now there's nothing stopping them in mid. Only one set of eyes on B right now, but you see the rotation over, waiting to see if they're going to come out of there. But they know they're there. But Kickster takes down Waffle. Not enough defense. You got to get the full rotation. Monkey Style takes down Spy Chicken. Dinos taking down Matsushima, and Soup taking down Monkey Style now. Soup is planning the spike, but a 3v1 situation going to be very, very difficult for Cam to try to pull off.
Yeah, when you only got yourself a sheriff, you can land a headshot or two, but it's going to be real difficult to turn this into a three-piece. But it starts with just that. Cam actually finding the gunfight without dropping any HP there, so still sitting at the 85 health marker. 2 members to get through, 1 spike to defuse. Can Cam rise to the occasion? Does get a Phantom, finds one. Cam is looking to find the 3rd kill. He's looking to get the defuse in time. He finds the kill, he gets the 3rd. The Ospreys Silva is looking so good. And can he get the defuse in time? He's holding it down. He's looking to make it go as fast as he possibly can, and he squeezes it out just in time.
That is a huge clutch for his team right there. If they lose the round, they went thrifty, so they were gonna have money, they were gonna have a little bit, save their economy a little bit right there. But to get that shot right there on J-Don with the sheriff, and then go and pick up the Phantom and get those last 2 picks, absolutely huge for UNF right now. That makes their economies a little bit better. They get the defuse. They're in a much better spot than they would have been. You think at a thrifty round, that's just a loss. You just do whatever you can to try to pull it out. Well, Cam pulls that one out for his team, coming up real big.
And now we're going to have to see how the defense can swing this momentum back into their favor. I mentioned last round that this game can easily be swung back around with just one good round, and the Ospreys had that round, but they're looking for an even better one. You can see the ultimate economy split across the board here, folks, but what ultimates are available are the key differences here. The offense has that Killjoy ultimate available, and you can see it has been placed on the B site. Now, what I love to see here, folks, Virginia Tech, you can see on your mini-map, they are not going to be. They're looking to take over A site. And Josh, it looks like UNF, they might be prepared for this, or at least it might only be Matsushima, who's just lying in wait, but doesn't see anyone. Just going to have to deal with the cooldowns, waiting for a retake. It's going to be a 5 versus 5.
This is a great fake out to throw down the Killjoy and try to lock down B, pull everybody over there, get the full rotation, and completely open up the A site. We've seen so far that Virginia Tech loves the A site, and they pushed on it. Oh, as Matsushima takes down J-Don very quickly in trees right there. Still a difficult retake opportunity. Soup now with the Hunter's Fury, taking down I do damage, and Cam. Soup using the Hunter's Fury. Cam didn't get a couple earlier, but Soup gets 2 kills right there as Monkey Style takes down Kickster. Incredible job by Virginia Tech, but it's still a 2-on-1. Can Soup pull it out? But he can't as Waffle takes down Soup, and now UNF with a great retake effort. pulling it back just a little bit. Beanies getting the round win there, but now it's only 2-3.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about. UNF really showing up big time in these last few rounds, getting themselves almost even up with Virginia Tech. And this is going to be a crucial round coming into the sixth. As you can see buys coming through. Both teams' economies are near their breaking point. If either team loses out on this round as well, they might just be in a bad spot. But as I said that, you can see Virginia Tech not fully committing with their buys, going for a half buy, a broken buy almost. One individual with the Vandal full armor. So an interesting choice, but Virginia Tech is looking to make their mark here and re-establish dominance in the game. And look at how quickly they've taken A-site yet again, Josh. They really love going down this lane, but Cam is going to take out Spy Chicken, and that's huge because the Blade Storm was active. The Jet Ultimate, that's so crucial for helping secure the round, it's gone. And now between the kills coming across, it's going to be a 3 versus 3. But the Killjoy Ultimate will be used on the defense, and this really puts a wrench in Virginia Tech's plans. Only one member of this offense left standing, and that's going to be Jadon with the Sheriff. It's not easy to secure a round with that. We've seen it done before, but I don't know if Lightning's going to strike twice here, folks. He's just spraying. He's looking for any headshots he can, but the Ospreys, they're going to even out the game. We got a 3-on-3.
I mean, the rotation by the Ospreys there was great. Virginia Tech moves in really quickly. They stay aggressive. They go back to their first round strategy of, hey, let's just get in there. Let's plant the spike and force the retake. But UNF is communicating very, very well, and they are not afraid to step up to the moment. And that's exactly what they did in that round. They understood that Virginia Tech's had some good replant positions, but they've been taking notes, and they're communicating with each other and talking about where everybody is. They moved in there and were almost surgical with the way they took that back.
With each team having 3 straight round wins, a very streaky game so far, we're going to have to see which is going to be the team that breaks the streak first. As you can see, it's going to be possibly B-site. The bomb has been left on the ground for the time being, and that just tells me Virginia Tech is looking to evaluate their opponent's defense, see where they can strike first, but you don't want to overstep. You don't want to take an aggressive peek. You don't need to. Just get information where you can.
Trying to get as much information with the on Silver right there, but if I'm Virginia Tech, UNF is almost leaving that mid wide open. The Omen's there kind of watching and making sure nobody goes in there, but it looks like Virginia Tech now moving towards mid. I do damage there is waiting, but if you've got a 3 or 4 stack running through mid, they could take B-site pretty easily by working through there. I'd like to see them force that subject a little bit more. They're doing it right now. I do damage, gets pushed back just a little bit by those smokes, and that's exactly what you want with Cam sitting on the other side. Denott's taken down Monkey Style, but Virginia Tech moving very quickly onto B-site. Oh, Spy Chicken taking down Cam. Cam had the shot, couldn't quite hit it there. I do damage now stuck on the outside as they close the door, and they're planning on B-site. Getting aggressive down that mid completely opened up B-site for him, Beanies.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of going through mid, is that it really opens up your choices. Not only going towards B-site, but A as well, or even through CT. You can see there's only one member left in CT. Mashu-sama going to be looking to back out, but just backs into the bullets of Jadon, getting Virginia Tech their 4th round win and swinging the pendulum back into their favor.
This already feels like this is going to be one of those matches tonight where both teams just do such a good job of reading each other's movements, of reading each other's strategies, and just really trying to guess at what the other one's going to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see 2 or 3 round runs and then reverse it to the other team every single time, where you see Virginia Tech take a couple, like 2 or 3 rounds, then you see UNF take 2 or 3 rounds, and it's really going to come down to who has the momentum at the very end, because Virginia Tech's strategy of really kind of pulling back, saying, okay, we know they're not covering mid as well. Oh, as Monkey Style takes down Spy Chicken very, very early with the op shot. What a huge op shot.
That's massive. Yeah, that really sets the ground here for the defense to just, on, you know, as I love to say it, trade out on paper. If they just trade out kills 1 for 1, they're going to be taking this round on defense. But this Killjoy Ultimate could throw a wrench in their ideas, as Cam, the birthday boy himself, going to be taking down Soup. Kickster is going to respond with an elimination of their own. So Virginia Tech trying to find some footing here, but defense is going to still have the advantage even as the spike goes down.
Ooh, Mashu-sama, though, with the Blade Storm out. Oh, goes down with the Blade Storm active. Jadon, what a huge kill for Virginia Tech. Oh, Waffle
look at the
taking down
trade.
Jadon, though.
Yo, Waffle's going to be getting that kill, and that's going to be huge. The defense is trying to retake, and they only have 2 lives left to take, Josh. They got Killjoy, they got Omen, and they get one of their opponents, and Dino's going to take down another, but Cam able to find their second kill of the round. And that's going to be the Ospreys, evening out the score at 4 apiece. This game just gets better and better by the round, Josh.
UNF is doing such a great job of moving together on those retakes. Sometimes you see teams, and it makes sense when you have enough people that can frag well or can initiate on their own. Then it makes sense for people to separate. But sometimes we see teams split apart too much. They get separated, and then they just individually walk into bad situations. Right? UNF's not doing that. When they go into those retake opportunities, you see them moving as a pack. You see 3 or 4 of them in a pack moving together. So if one of them goes down, it's okay because the other 2 are going to back them up, and they're going to be able to get those trade-offs that they want. It's the war of attrition. They're playing that game, and they're playing it very, very well.
Ooh, Mashu's just playing with fire. Seems like they know. Oh, just barely missing.
Jump.
So well done by the Virginia Tech Sova right there, just playing with fire. Nice drone going through mid there. Gonna make sure it gets, at least clears the information. And even if you don't see anybody, that's still useful information there. Making sure that no one's gonna be peeking out, taking out your duelist when they entry on the site. Maybe an operator like there, as Mashu is gonna take down the drone. A great tool for just making sure you get out safely. And again, just missing out on the shot as they hide around the corner. So this is Jet from the Ospreys. Missing a few opportunities, just barely, but still plenty of time to bounce back from that as the defense is going to strike first blood in this round.
Oh, Cam with the Hunter's Fury here. Couldn't get any, but that Killjoy ult's about to go off as Jadon takes down Monkey Style, though. Reyna on Reyna action that we see a little bit there. 0 players detained. The ult doesn't quite do the job that it wants, but Mashu-sama sitting there on the site. There's a good retake position by Virginia Tech. Waffle moving in for the defuse. Is there enough utility down? Waffle decides to pull back. Doesn't want to test it. Mashu-sama taking down Jadon. Jadon tries to move through trees as Cam takes down Dinos. But Spy Chicken getting a couple of picks right there. And Virginia, or the defenders, go ahead and win. Getting the defuse off. I didn't think they were going to get that, Beanies.
That was just barely by the hair, or excuse me, the hair of their teeth. Is that the phrase? I'm drawing a blank on the
that works. I'm fine with that,
metaphor.
Yeah. The skin of their teeth, or the hair of their teeth. I like hair of their teeth better.
I mean, what is it? Like, nails are made out of the same thing as your hair or something? I don't know. There's some, I'm sure if you give me 10 minutes with Google, I could find some connection to put there, but we don't have that kind of time right now. By that point, we'll already be at 8-8 in this game. Who knows? But Ospreys getting themselves the lead, which, honestly, Josh, I think this is their first lead they've had the entire game, and really going to be doing a lot of work for them, not only in the actual round score, but that mental game as well, and making sure that they can stay toe-to-toe with the likes of Virginia Tech, which is the team we touted as trying to cement themselves as a top 3 team, not a bottom 4 team.
Oh, as Mashu-sama takes down Jadon, but again, UNF, the Ospreys are essentially playing for their split 2 lives right now. This isn't a do or die game necessarily for them, but a loss here puts them in rougher position trying to move forward into split 2. And so when you corner a dog, they learn to fight back. And UNF, we've seen them play well against other teams as the Hunter's Fury comes out for Virginia Tech right now. He's pinging, but doesn't quite get anybody. The Hunter's Fury not quite working out the way they want it to. But UNF in very, very good defensive spots. And another thing that's really thrown Virginia Tech off is that their ability to rotate quickly when they know something's happening. But do you see, look at the lurk right there by Virginia Tech. A Spy Chicken takes down Waffle. Getting up top. Oh, but Monkey Style taking down Spy Chicken with the op. But we've got a retake opportunity by UNF. A 2-on-3 retake with Virginia Tech getting the spike down on A.
Yeah, and that's a very big set of kills right there from Virginia Tech. Even though they do lose their jet, it's still going to be well worth it. And then a 3 versus 1 against Monkey Style on this. Man, it's going to be hard to try and deal with the Empress Reyna. She gets 1 elimination. This is where she's most deadly. She has unlimited soul orbs, folks. So this is really going to be where she can make her mark. But Dinos squashes Monkey Style's chance at busting the move on that site. And it's going to be a 5-score to 5-score.
Monkey Style using the Empress there, but kind of dropping down and being indecisive. You know, the indecisiveness in really any competition, indecisiveness gets you in trouble, but especially in Valorant, it gets you in so much trouble. And on a map like Ascent, most especially, dropping down, not deciding, okay, am I going to look towards A main? Am I going to look towards trees? Where am I going with this? Not being able to quickly decide between those two put Monkey Style in a bad spot there with a chance to take over, but still 5-5. This is a really, really tight match right now.
And there are only 2 more rounds remaining in this half. Both teams have really put their best foot forward to start off here, but it's going to be one that does a little better. Cam with the Sheriff making it look like an operator or a vandal. Pick your choice. Regardless, it's a 1-shot, 1-kill to the dome. And the Ospreys and Virginia Tech squad able to trade out kills at 1 apiece, but B-site is a little bit bare. It does have the Killjoy assistance, but there was only one piece of equipment there, actually. It does get destroyed. And now it's going to be left up to Virginia Tech to commit, but look at your minimap, folks. That's the bomb sending itself all the way back through spawn. And Josh, they're going for the long rotate over to A.
The very, very long rotate over to A. I like it whenever Virginia Tech gets a little patient. And they try to really kind of feel out what's happening. Force UNF to look. Now you see the rotation over to B. They're kind of feeling it out. You see the Sova from UNF is rotating over there because they're still making noise. And now A side is almost completely clear for them to move in and plant the spike.
Oh, Soup is going to just clear out the site for the time being. Does identify Cam with the bolt, so it's going to be a little bit of room to breathe. Mashy was going to get very close to dropping 1, but does dash out in the nick of time. Still, folks, look at how the Ospreys are trading out. This was an eco round for the defense, and they're still able to pick up these kills with the Frenzies, with the Sheriffs, but Kixer has the Phantom, and at the end of the day, the assault rifles are going to reign supreme. Kixer picks up a 4K, and Virginia Tech picks up their 6th round.
Honestly, Virginia Tech, I feel like they're a little lucky to be able to take that round. They cleared out A site, and then they just kind of sat there and waited. Now, it helped that Kixer went a little bit crazy in that round and getting as many frags as they did, but they had the open A site and gave UNF more than enough of an opportunity to rotate back over and try to retake or play defense on it. Virginia Tech needs to move a little bit quicker whenever they make decisions like that moving forward.
Oh, you can see that Spy Chicken just dashing headfirst into Mashu-sama. And that's almost like a meme, just like a record scratch freeze frame moment, because it was just presenting a head on a platter right there for the Ospreys. And now Virginia Tech going to have to fight back from that early deficit. Do in fact lose another, and with the defense able to stabilize for a moment, they try to trade out kills, but Virginia Tech with the spike is going to even it out to 2 apiece. And this is where it really starts to make its mark. How you use your cooldowns, how patiently you can play, how you can read your opponents. I do damage. You're going to have to do a lot more than damage to get through this round here, folks, because you got 1 down. Actually, Waffle's going to be helping them out, but that's going to be a trade coming in from Soup. Going to be 1 for 1, leaving just 1 member from each team, and that's Soup cleaning up the dishes right now, leaving nothing but dessert, and that's going to be 7-5 Virginia Tech.
That incredible play by Soup. His teammate gets caught out. You know, it's a 2v2. Teammate gets caught trying to rotate over, but Soup pulling out the clutch right there, taking down I do damage, and then taking down Waffle right afterwards in a great retake position. Virginia Tech, they're starting to take a little bit of the momentum, but now we're going into the second half of this map. You're back to pistol rounds. You reset the economy with and UNF with the way they've played. Maybe not in the last 2 rounds it's so much, but in the last like 3, 4, 5 rounds, they've been playing really, really well. I wonder if this isn't an opportunity where they can kind of maybe take some of that momentum back and push Virginia Tech a little bit towards the back half of this map.
And as we enter the pistol round, the second pistol round, excuse me, of the game, you can see it's going to be a B push from the offense. The Ospreys not wasting any time. But look at this. I love this so much, Josh. Watching this happen right here. That's going to be UNF pushing up through middle, going through CT, and that opens up the entire map for them. They go through A site, or go to A site through heaven. And this is so huge for the offense, Josh, because now they have the opportunity to set up how they want, and they know for a fact they have cleared out the entire site. This is very, very good from the UNF Ospreys.
This is what we talk about all the time. It's so important to get map control, and we saw Virginia Tech just not really take advantage of the lack of defense in mid. Well, UNF says, you know what? If they don't think about mid on offense, they probably don't think much about mid on defense. And sure enough, UNF moves straight up mid as Soup takes down Monkey Style right there, though, getting a little bit closer, making it a little bit easier for Virginia Tech on this retake, but it's still going to be a tough retake opportunity. I like seeing the strategy from UNF as J-Don takes down I Do Damage, though. Masashama taking down Dinos. Masashama taking down Soup. J-Don takes down Masashama, but there's just not enough time, and it looks like UNF is going to go ahead and take this round, even though J-Don gets the pick on Waffle at the end. Valiant effort, good try on the retake, but UNF moving too quickly. And again, it was because they took map control. They had the whole wide map to open up and at least delay Virginia Tech from trying to defuse the spike.
And Josh, they even caught them off guard. I mean, the 2 eliminations they opened up the round with were players in transition through CT. They were trying to get back to the other site. They were trying to move around, and then they hear these footsteps, and all of a sudden, it's not just 2 footsteps, it's 10 footsteps. It's 5 people just running up mid, and all of a sudden, it's a 3-on-5, and the site's taken over. So now, I'm really curious to see how the Ospreys are going to bounce back, or excuse me, the Virginia Tech squad are going to bounce back from such a tough round. And look at this, Josh, the Ospreys wasting no time. A 3K off the rip. This is incredible work here from UNF on their offense.
Oh, Spy Chicken giving away position, not quite being able to get up there. Can he get the kill? But Waffle takes down Spy Chicken, and UNF again. We said this, going into this into the second half of this map. UNF now rolling a little bit, stealing a little bit of that momentum. They get into the second half with a pistol round. They get to reset. The economy is totally reset, and so now they get to steal some of that momentum back without really needing to worry about gun advantages. Well, now, I guess they're worried about it a little bit, but not that they have to worry about being at a gun disadvantage. Now they have the gun advantage. Their economy is looking pretty good right now. It looks like they're going to opt to stay with the Singers and be a little bit frugal on this one. Virginia Tech going with a full buy on this one. The force buy seems a little bit premature when you're still tied 7-7.
And that's the thing here. As it's 7-7, the Ospreys able to get themselves 2 straight rounds here in the second half. So really now Virginia Tech is going to be feeling how their opponents felt in the first half of the game here. But it's going very slow, especially by the Osprey standard that they have set. The spike has just now been picked up by their jet. You can see moving through... Actually, no, excuse me. The jet did not pick it up. That was their Silva that carried it, but it is going from B site through spawn all the way over towards A, and this is very similar to what we saw from Virginia Tech. But I'm liking the odds of the Ospreys.
Get out of my way!
Much slower pace than we've seen so far, but we see the rotation over to A. Masashama busting out the Blade Storm. Let's see what they can do, but Dinos taking down Monkey Style very quickly. Spy Chicken takes down Masashama, and the Blade Storm is down on the ground. A couple of trade-offs now. UNF needs to get that spike down. Cam is planting it right now, and we're going to have a 2v2 retake opportunity.
Masashama dashed into the killjoy of the Ospreys right there. And that was heartbreaking to watch because that just threw the whole play asunder. And now the offense, even though they got the spike down, they need to make sure they stabilize. That was a tough take, but they still have a 2-on-2 here. Virginia Tech, on the other hand, need to bounce back right now. And Heaven is going to be their choice of entry, but both members of the Ospreys are sitting in tree. One member going to be trying to clear out Heaven, but you can see the split coming in from the offense is going to try and take out the diffusing squad. Damage is going to take down one, and this is exactly what they needed. The Ospreys, the pincer, it was perfectly done, and the Ospreys take down Virginia Tech, setting up an 8-7 score.
Oh no, but Cam can't quite make it out, but you're happy with the round win there. Now UNF going up by that 1 round. And really, honestly, Virginia Tech played that exactly the way they could, exactly the way they should. They didn't know where it was going to be coming from. They didn't know where those retake setups were going to be, and they had a good feeling that they were probably in tree. They drop down, they check underneath, they move towards the spike. You have eyes on tree. You just have to hit that shot. But UNF putting themselves in a really good spot to keep Virginia Tech on their toes round after round.
Spy Chicken with the judge here, and Dino's actually rocking the Bucky. You'll love to see Bucky's getting some action right there. Dino's going to be taking down Mashu. Giving Jets a taste of their own medicine with the shotgun, monkey style. A crucial note right there, using one of the 2 soul orbs available to Reyna doesn't get the full value out of that. And after the changes, she's really going to be feeling that extra, or excuse me, that less health that she's been afforded because she broke that line of sight.
Another long rotation by UNF too. Looks to be rotating over to B site. Made some noise over on A. They're going to rotate, but Virginia Tech in a good spot to play defense on this. They've got eyes where they need to. UNF at a slight advantage right now. No rotation from A, as Virginia Tech still doesn't know exactly where they are, but now they're making noise. You see the rotation coming through. Monkey style trying to shoot through the wall and get it as I do damage, takes down Soup, making it that much easier for them to take over this B side as Dinos is right there with the Bucky. Let's see if we can get a little Bucky action. Don't quite get it now, but UNF gets the spike down, but they got the 4v3 advantage. Oh, J-Don going down now. It's a 4v2. Monkey style is going off right now. Can Monkey style pull out another one right here? Getting the shot with the classic on Spy Chicken, and UNF is starting to pull ahead.
Yeah, and the Ospreys are really starting to put in some work right now. They've won 4 straight rounds, not dropping a single round on offense just yet. This is looking fantastic for them now. We should admit that last round was a bit of an eco for Virginia Tech, so they didn't have all the tools available to them. But now, this is a huge round for the Virginia Tech squad, because if they go down here, they're basically going back into another eco, which is a mountain in of itself to climb up. And then at that point, they're going to be down 11-7. So, Josh, we need to see Virginia Tech able to bounce back in this round. They need to make sure that they don't get too aggressive for themselves. They have the skill to win these gunfights, but they keep just stepping out into unfavorable situations, walking in the shotgun blasts, or straight up just missing their mark. But J-Dawn might be having a chance to avenge themselves. Does in fact get one. Going to have to throw out the Soul Orb up and followed up by the Leer, but it's not going to be just enough because damage is going to find the mark. Take down one. And the Jet Blade Storm is going to miss as well. Virginia Tech have to try and stabilize after losing one member, and they do just that, picking up 2 kills here. Josh, Virginia Tech is fighting back finally.
It's a big loss for them, but Virginia Tech playing better, playing well, doing exactly what you said, staying in the right spots, waiting for the Ospreys to come to them. And you saw a little bit of aggressive play there. You know, you see the Rainy getting popped out of Spy Chicken takes down Monkey style. Virginia Tech now taking another round, but they played better. They realized that they couldn't lose that round, or else their economy was going to be trashed, and they're in a much tougher spot. But now, only being down 1 round, you feel better about where you're at. You get to go with a full buy. Your economy feels a little bit better. There's a little bit more of a sense of ease on the team, but for the most part, they played that better. They got map control. They got into mid, and they were watching, making sure, okay, where are they going to be coming from? Where are they at? We know we can control this from here, and let's see if they do something similar to that now. It looks like they're trying to decide where they want to set up, and now it looks like they're going to get a little bit more mid control, get eyes on that, and really try to figure out where the Ospreys are going to attack them from.
The operator is going to find nobody home for the time being. No one going to be testing the patience of A site, as the Ospreys giving up their first round of the half. They're going to be okay in terms of economy. Their credit score is still through the roof. You know, a good 750, I'd say. Nothing to be ashamed about it. Also, Ospreys not having to worry just yet, but Virginia Tech, they cannot sleep just yet either, because they have to make sure that they don't let that 1 round be the only round they get in the half. And Soup gonna be checking out that site. It's gonna be hauled up by a Hunter's Fury into the B site corridor, but no one's gonna be home. Just finds 1 marker. Cam gonna respond with a Hunter's Fury of their own. Does in fact hit their teammate. And then Monkey Style and the Killjoy ultimate gonna be used as well. So the Ospreys are really committing to this fight here. They threw 3, now 4. Every single ultimate the Ospreys had this round have been used, and they are still being flawlessly wiped. They have 1 member left standing, and Virginia Tech, they have an opportunity to completely wipe out the squad. But Waffle is going to salvage it with just 1 elimination. Not going to get the spike down. Virginia Tech, they have life, and they're still in this game.
That is a tough round if you're the Ospreys, to drop as many ults as they did right there and have it not pay off. And not even that it didn't pay off, but to just go down so quickly after dropping them the way they did. You lose 3 players as soon as you really do a full commit with ults and everything. And look, if you don't win the round, you don't win the round. But to go down as quickly as they did in that moment, that's a tough one for the Ospreys, and they're going to have to try to think, slow down, and pull back from after that round. Oh, they're doing the exact opposite, though. They are moving quickly onto B.
They are completely ignoring Josh's suggestions. I heard a tailwind followed up by the rest of the squad just heading onto site. And I mean, they give up 1 member. Monkey Style does go down, but the Ospreys are going to get onto Spike. So even though they lose a member, this does put the ball into the Ospreys' court a bit. They are able to play defense now, hold those lines of sight, try and prevent entries or try and trade out kills. But Virginia Tech, they have the Operator, and the Empress is active as well. This tool in the Reyna's kit is so good at winning 2v1s, winning 3v1s, making sure the clutches come through. Mashu's going to have to try and do a little more than just that to get the round out, but Jadon going to be picking up 1. I Do Damage following through with their name, going to be picking up 2 kills as well. And with Virginia Tech just barely missing out on finishing out this round here because the Ospreys have found new life. It's going to be left up to Cam and that Sheriff. That tricky little pistol is going to be trying to get the job done, but can Dawn get the defuse in time? It's not going to come out. It's not going to be in time. Virginia Tech, they may have won the round in terms of kills, but the Ospreys detonate the spike, and UNF get their 10th round win.
And you know, I love seeing the aggressive play in that moment. You know, I told them to slow down. They didn't listen to me. That's completely fine. It was a risky move, though. It was a risky maneuver to try to get in there and get so quick. They were down on a 5-4 retake. They were in the right positions, but they held them off just long enough. But it's that risk reward, and they ended up getting the reward from it. It paid off in the long run for them, and they take that round now going up 10-9. And Virginia Tech has to kind of rethink about what they're going to do. Are they going to move quickly, or are they going to wait it out? And it looks like we're going to see the Ospreys wait it out and really kind of take the time to take map control, figure out where they want to go, figure out where they can take this spike. And Virginia Tech's reeling from round to round, trying to solve this puzzle that the Ospreys keep throwing at them, trying to figure out what they do. As Jadon goes down to the shock dart by Cam.
Oh, Soup is sitting in this smoke, just biding their time. A little tricky angle to be at. Maybe was waiting for someone to walk in, but still risky play there. No real return on investment just yet, but Soup going to be using the drone to try and clear out mid. Does find 1, and that's going to be an interesting take on how they respond to this, because you know that the middle is going to be overrun by 1, now 2 members of the offense. And then we're going to have to see what Virginia Tech does, because they continue holding that tree on A. And they have a duel breaking out over on B, but Monkey Style gonna win that one as well. When you're 3 versus 5 on the defense, it's gonna be a hard task to break back onto the site, because now the Ospreys are firmly in control of B, and they get the spike down.
It was such a great peek, knowing in that moment, Monkey Style knowing in that moment, hey, somebody's going to be here, somebody's going to be waiting, being able to hit the shot and get the kill that completely opens up that B site. But taking the time and being patient and making Virginia Tech sit on their heels. Virginia Tech, they work well when they don't have time to think, as Monkey Style takes down Spy Chicken, but goes down to Kickster, and they get the trade-offs there. But UNF taking that round, now going up 11-9. This starts to get just a little bit scarier for Virginia Tech.
Very much so, and the fact that they're knocking on the door of losing this game 1, which started out, as you can see, 3-0, so really in their favor, but since then it's just fallen into the laps of the Ospreys, or maybe I should say it's been taken from the laps of Virginia Tech, because the Ospreys are all go, no stop in a lot of these rounds that we're seeing them come out on top of, and it's no surprise that they're going to be looking to play around with B site yet again, but they are going for a more tamed approach here. They do have the bomb, or excuse me, the spike down. It's just a matter of where they choose to take it. A nice shock arrow is going to come in and chunk down, I believe, only the Silva for UNF, but still, any damage is good damage there, folks. 70 health, that's what? A body shot and a headshot with any gun almost? So I'd take that. I'd take that any day. Another
Cam
29.
Get hit by another shock arrow there.
That hurts me.
again, they're playing this one slow, really trying to feel it out. Wondering, okay, does Virginia Tech think that we're going to push through towards B again? You got two sitting on A, but they're sitting on tree. You don't really have the best angles right there if you're Virginia Tech on the zone. Now UNF have almost a clear lane towards A to be able to move in. They're not quite moving in. Oh, Spy Chicken going down to I do damage. Virginia Tech not quite being able to move in. UNF getting the spike down. This is going to be a tough retake for Virginia Tech now, being down 5-4.
Yeah, it will be tough, but they're going to have to try and fight back. And they did a good job at starting it off, getting one elimination. But Kim, with the Hunter's Fury, going to be using it very early here. You typically see that used to defend the spike once a defuse comes out. But no, going to use it to just try and keep his opponents at bay. Sova Dart is going to come in alongside of Paranoia. You're seeing some information gathering, but Mashi-sama going to take down one, trading their life 2-for-1 overall in the favor of Virginia Tech. Make that 3-for-1 at this point, but with the kills coming back in towards the Ospreys, Waffle tried to spray and pray through the smoke, but Kixer is going to finish off taking down their opponent. And Virginia Tech has joined the Ospreys in double-digit round scores, hitting that 10 marker.
And that was such a weird round. It was like both teams playing chicken just a little bit. You have the Killjoy ult go down, so Virginia Tech can't quite move in the way they wanted to on the rotation. So it was a smart ult play by UNF, but they didn't take advantage of it as quickly as I would have liked to have seen from them. You know, they had the position on A, they had the ult down, move in, get that spike planted as quickly as you can, and set up in the right spots instead of, you know, they had less time than they could have to get in the right spot and be ready for that Virginia Tech retake. Oh, as we see the Blade Storm come out from Masu-sama. Didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to last time, but UNF moving very quickly, trying to clear out with the Blade Storm. Doesn't quite get it as Jadon takes down Masu-sama very quickly.
That was a crucial miss on the Blade Storm headshots there, Josh, because now Virginia Tech is going to have a lead, but monkey style. This Empress is so scary to deal with in multiple 1v1s, and that's exactly what you need to do as a Arena player. Monkey style, a beautiful aggressive peek on the Spy Chicken, peeking around the corner with the Disappear, with the Devour, with the Soul Orb. And as Monkey style picks up a 3-piece, it's going to be just 4 members from the Ospreys having to plant the spike down, play some defense, and it's not going to be too tough if you can just hold those angles and trade it out 2-for-2 against Virginia Tech. But these Ospreys, man, they're coming out firing. They are impressing, to say the least. We talked about them needing to fight to stay alive in the group. Josh, right now with this performance, they're fighting for a spot in the top half of the group, because Virginia Tech, with only 2 members to take back this site, it's going to be more than just living on a prayer here, and they might have to call Bon Jovi to see what he thinks next, because there's not going to be much left for them. It's a 1-for-1 trade, leaving just Kixer on the site, but Killjoy getting a taste of their own medicine. Not going to have enough time to go for the defuse. Does take one, but ultimately going to fall into the hands of the Ospreys, and UNF, they're on game 1 point.
Match point.
And let's not forget that this map pick, this was Virginia's pick. Virginia picked Ascent, and UNF is playing this so well right now, and it's been close the entire time. And you know, what did we talk about in the beginning? We're going to see momentum shifts multiple times all throughout the entire map. Well, now you're seeing it shift in favor of UNF, but with them, this is match point. Virginia Tech, they have to come up big in this round. You know, kind of nothing else matters. They spend as much money as they can, but we see a couple of Buckies out here, not quite the gun usage and not quite the buys that you want to see in a round where it's go big or you lose the map. Masu-sama takes down Dinos after Dinos takes down Monkey Style. A little trade-off there. But again, UNF moving very quickly onto this B site before Virginia Tech can really react to it. Great play by UNF to be aggressive and move quickly.
And Josh, the big thing to point out here is that UNF losing 1 member does give over a useful tool to the hands of Virginia Tech, who might be a little strapped for cash and equipment here. And the defense is going to have to break back onto the site. Soup doing a great job at starting it off. Does in fact find another marker right there. I believe taking down one and getting a second damage deal onto the other. Virginia Tech leaving just 1 member standing. Gonna end up losing that trade there. I do damage. 7 HP in a dream. Gonna have to take down Soup. You need to find the headshot. Soup playing for the game here. Playing for Virginia Tech to stay alive. And the spray and pray is gonna do its work. Gets the 3-piece for Soup. Virginia Tech stay alive with 3 seconds left on the spike. Whew! Whew! Very close there, John.
Virginia Tech moved in real fast on that retake in a good position, but really it was that Hunter's Fury by Soup taking down Mashu-sama in that moment and really kind of splitting UNF and getting them out of the spots that they wanted to be in. Right here, you'd see Soup take down Mashu-sama and then get another pick. Well, not getting a pick, but tagging another person right there, and that gave Virginia Tech all the time in the world to start to move in on that retake, and that was big for them. They needed that to happen. They need another round too right here to tie this up 12-12 and take us into overtime, or else it's going to be a problem.
With the ultimates available, you can see Spy Chicken going to be very liberal with that Blade Storm. Maybe a little too liberal, as that's only going to be one kunai left there. All it's going to take is a headshot to refresh that ammo, but you got to hit your marker on the one and done type of deal. All the Ospreys little cautious here. They have the spike in their possession, an important part of the puzzle here. But both teams understanding that one bad move can send this game spiraling here, folks. And remember, because overtime rules, your ultimates don't carry over. So you want to make sure you get those cooldowns out in this round, regardless of what happens. Virginia Tech, 2 ultimates available. 3 if you count the Blade Storm active. 1 available to the Ospreys on that Hunter's Fury. It looks like A site might be the location of potentially the final round in the game. Spy Chicken going to be taken down 1, but I Do Damage responds with a kill of their own, picking up the Phantom as well. Josh, that's a huge pickup there for the Ospreys as the spike will go down, and now it flips over into the hands of Virginia Tech to try and retake.
Virginia Tech in a good spot with Jadon sitting underneath right there, getting the pick on Monkey Style, but Cam taking down Jadon is huge. You know, you saw a different strategy from Virginia Tech on defense, deciding to put 3 people on A, kind of feeling that UNF was going to go over towards that way, but still a tough retake right now as Cam takes down Dinos. It's going to be a 2-on-1. UNF has it. Soup's got to do something, but it doesn't matter. The attackers take this, and UNF takes map 1 on Ascent.
Wow, UNF taking down Virginia Tech 13-11 on Ascent. That's quite the way to open up the series here that I came in, at least I can't speak for you, but I came in expecting Virginia Tech to put up big numbers, and the Ospreys were the one that showed up.
I mean, we were warned before we went live tonight, watch out for UNF. I had multiple people telling me, watch out. They've played other good teams well. And we saw this, like we brought up just a few minutes ago. Ascent was Virginia Tech's pick. That was their map, and they had the momentum going into that. It's a map that they felt comfortable on. They've been successful on before, and UNF went and took that from them. If you would have told me that UNF was going to have success, I would have thought, okay, Virginia Tech takes map 1, and then I could see UNF taking map 2, and then we go into a map 3. Well, now we're going into North Florida's map. We're going into the Ospreys realm, and Virginia Tech has to play there. And this is gonna be interesting to see how they respond. How do they react? You know, it felt a little times, you brought this up, they were pressing just a little bit too much, moving a little bit too far forward. They would get map control, and they would almost immediately lose it because they would just get out of position a little bit and force the issue too much. And so, do they pull back and play a little bit more conservatively? Do they wait it out a little bit more instead of pressuring at the wrong moments? But Virginia Tech, we've seen them do it before. They're a good squad. They lose a map 1. UNF surprises them. Well, they're not going to be surprised going into map 2. It's been great. It's been great all night. It's been a close match all night. I'm excited to see what happens in map 2, Beanies.
Exactly. We got map 2 coming up on the other side of this break as we head over to Split, and we got to see, are UNF the real deal taking the 2-0, or is Virginia Tech going to fight back on map 2? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Beanie's joined alongside my buddy here, Josh, and we got ourselves map number 2 coming up of our matchup between the likes of Virginia Tech and the UNF Ospreys. And Josh, we just saw the UNF Ospreys pull off what some might consider an upset, but apparently to you and some others, they kind of expected them to put up a performance like this.
Yeah, I mean, I went into chat. I was checking out chat, trying to see what people were talking about. While at the end of that, and they had a prediction up, and 72% of the people in chat predicted that Virginia Tech was going to take that map, and only 28% predicted UNF. And coming into this, if you look on the surface of what we've seen when we look at the standings earlier, right, we see that 5-1 team, and we see a 2-4 UNF team, but if you just look at that record and it doesn't tell the full story of those 4 losses. Exactly. If you go into the story of those 4 losses, you see close matches, you see tough play, you see just not being able to quite pull out the momentum at the right time, and they did that today against Virginia Tech. And it's interesting when we talked about during the break. I love seeing storylines this build up. Right, you see a team in the Ospreys who they're fighting for their lives and to move into split 2. And with their backs against the wall, they pushed back, and Virginia Tech wasn't quite ready for it on their own map pick. And now going into map 2, it's going to be interesting to see, do the Ospreys really put their foot on the pedal and keep that momentum going after taking map 1, or does Virginia Tech pull back a little bit and strategize and try to counter some of the things that UNF was doing well?
Exactly, and with split being a map that can be very divisive, depending on who you're asking.
Split divisive? No way.
No. But the fact that we see a team like the UNF choosing to go with split, this reminds me a lot of back in the first semester, specifically with Rutgers University. They would often ban out bind, and that meant that they would see split come up in their best of 3 series. And it was always an interesting tool to bring out a map like split, because a lot of teams just don't like it at all or just can't crack the code on it, because it can be so hard to break a really solid defense if you get the right kind of role on that map where you start out on defense and get the momentum on your side. But seeing that UNF is choosing to start out on that, it really lends itself to, I want to know, what are they thinking with split? Is it an agent pick that they're looking to run out here with that might catch us off guard? Is it how they're going to be playing this map that's going to be what seals the deal for them? I'm really curious to know what's the method behind the madness of going with the split.
It's definitely a question that I'd be interested in asking them. But usually when you see teams pick a map that, hey, maybe not everybody's picking it every single time, it's because they've been testing it a lot lately. They've been testing new strategies on it that they feel comfortable with, right? And so they pick split, and Virginia gets to start on defense first. But obviously the Ospreys feel comfortable enough to allow Virginia to have defense first on this map. And yes, it can be a divisive map, right? And exactly. And it can be this, like you said, it can be tough to crack the code on split. But if you're UNF, you're picking this for a reason.
Look at them.
Oh, I love this. We're going to see a little bit of breach play. I'm excited about this.
And something I always love pointing out is watching how the teams select their agents. UNF, you could tell that they're the team that chose split, because before we even got to this agent select screen, I'm pretty sure every one of their agents was locked in. And that's amazing to see what they have planned right now, because that breach on Cam is going to be a very crucial tool, especially on a map like Split. You know, Split and Icebox tend to be those kinds of maps that favor breach because of how many angles, how many walls, how many borders you have to really play with in that flash. But on the other hand, Virginia Tech, they're going to be looking at locking in a Sage, I want to say, as the clock does tick down. And I think it is going to be Sage by the looks of things coming in there. Going to be the difference maker, along with that Jet being a little alteration. And you know, when you see the Sage coming in, especially on defense first, Josh, I want to know, what do you think in their thought is picking up that Sage?
Well, I mean, the wall is absolutely beneficial in a map like Split because it just locks down an entire area. And when in an area as attackers, like it's very straightforward of where you're going to go. And it's easy for the defense to rotate and react to where you're going to be. So being able to have that Sage wall, having Sage's utility is always a good thing. The thing that I'm most interested in right now with UNF is seeing both the Breach and the Phoenix come out. We're going to have double flashes here, and I'm wondering if this is a strategy that they've been working on, is being able to roll with both of these characters and the utility that they bring to the table. This feels like, you know, when we're talking about why would they pick Split, this feels like a strategy that maybe they've been working on, and I'm interested to see how they're going to play this as the attackers starting out.
Well, you can see it is going to be a B site, at least to start with, play, but the Killjoy around middle is going to be at least keeping some of the defense's attention here, as the Ospreys, they want to play with 5 senses here: sight, sound, touch. I don't know if you could be smelling them, and hope you're not tasting your peripherals. They're out, my friends. Is the Sage.
You can smell the sweat when they get sweaty.
Oh my god, you can smell their palms when it gets to round 24 and it's 13-13 or 12-12 and everyone's just on the back of it. But Mashu-sama going to be getting that kill onto Dawn, so breaking open this game, and that's going to be A-side actually with nobody ready for this. I mean, the Omen might be up there in heaven, but you're not going to be peeking a 1v4, and Virginia Tech going to give up the spike plant and the site control to the Ospreys, who, much like we expect them to be, they see a site. They hit that go button.
Spike planted.
Oh, it's going to be Kixer sitting there, and Screen's going to be kept at bay for the time being. Got the flame wall up, just blocking them from seeing much. Dino's, though, on the other side of the site, doesn't see that there's 2 people directly behind them, and that's going to be 1 member actually dropping, but no, nobody's going to turn and take down Dino's. I can't believe the Omen actually got away from that situation, and the Paranoia going to guarantee passage onto site. But by this point, 3 members are left standing of the Ospreys, and none are left for Virginia Tech, as UNF going to take that pistol round.
UNF moved in there so quickly, put it specifically in that back corner, and now you kind of see why they're rolling with this team comp. Being able to get that utility from Killjoy is always great, but being able to hang on to some of the utility, they force they use the breach flashes early. They get to save some of the Phoenix flashes, so you can initiate whenever Virginia Tech tries to go on those retakes. I'm loving the comp that they're using on this, and it looks like it's meant to be highly aggressive, and I think they're going to keep pushing A site almost every single time until Virginia Tech says, no, we're going to push A. I cannot believe that Omen got away, by the way, in the last round. Jadon hiding in the corner, takes down Mashu-sama. But, ooh, Jadon going down to Waffle, and now you're going to have a long rotation by Virginia Tech as they're getting the spike down on A.
And now with Monkey Style, going to have to get out of the screens for just a moment, but with the 4 versus 4, this is a little better for Virginia Tech than it was last round, and that's about all they have going for them, because the guns are in favor of the Ospreys. And in the second round, that can really make or break here. You see Waffle exerting that dominance with the Spectre, but Kixer swapping over to that Raze you see from the Killjoy last game.
One enemy
going to be taking down 1, and then the Shorties are actually showing up big time. Are we watching Ryerson and Virginia Tech at this point? Because Shorty Kings are coming up huge, and then the Spectre is going to drop the remaining member, giving us a 1-for-1 score after the first 2.
Great job by Virginia Tech on the retake, really understanding, okay, we kind of know where their positions were last time. Let's play off of that this time, but really coming up big with the shorty kills in that moment is huge for Virginia Tech. That's what that changed the momentum in that round and dropped UNF in the long run. As those shorties are a problem up close, man. You can't go into the smoke. That's just a pile of death.
I mean, it sounds appetizing depending on your perspective of things, you know, maybe you're like Goku who just loves fighting and it's like, oh, pile of death, yes, I'll stand on top of it. Haha.
Well, I'm an old man, so a pile of death for me is just nachos from Taco Bell. That's actually what I call it.
I can't complain, man. I'd put myself through it too for those nachos, but you know, to each their own. And Mashu-sama, speaking of hot nachos, gonna be playing with some fire there. The wall is going to get put up, actually, just barely finishes that second stage, increasing the health by, I want to say, threefold at that point. Soup, he can get a little aggressive, going to trade 1-for-1, still in the favor of Virginia Tech, but the Ospreys, who looked so good in the pistol round, are now on the back foot with Virginia Tech storming up down mid lane. Kixer, though, going to be the one to pick up the kill, 2-1 in Virginia's favor.
And this is the problem with UNF has this. It seems like every time, and I'd be interested to see where they go now. It looks like they're rotating over towards A, maybe a bit of a split push. Maybe they're going to feel it out for just a second, but this is the problem with having a strategy that you want to go with. Virginia Tech is countering very, very nicely, and it's kind of thrown UNF off onto their heels just a little bit. They're trying to reel and trying to figure out, okay, oh, now the rotations are coming from mid. Oh no, now the rotations are coming from here. That sage wall has come up big multiple times now for Virginia Tech, and it's going to be interesting to see how UNF tries to respond to it.
Ospreys now sitting at that single round win, looking to use this big economy buy. Let's try and bounce back. They have Cam holding the spike here and holding on to their ability to throw out the concussive. Follow it up with Mashu just rushing onto site. The run it back going to be used to take out the Killjoy turret. Questionable if that's a worthwhile trade, but still going to stay alive, and that's good enough in of itself. But look at this. Full decommit coming in hot here. And that's going to be what looks like the Ospreys playing with the idea of going over towards A, but I love the fact that they're not fully sending it. They're playing the mind games here, Josh, and the defense is falling for it.
That's what half of this game is, just playing mind games with the defense. Keep them trying to figure out, keep them on their toes. You know, make them guess what you're going to do. And now you see that rotation back over to A. B clears up a little bit as Cam starts the prime. He's getting ready to go. Now they push on. They're moving really quickly, really aggressively on to B. Going to try to get the spike down. The rotation coming over just a little bit too late. That's going to be a tough retake for Virginia Tech now.
And now you can take a look at where the B site is going to be held by the Ospreys. They have everybody almost in a line there, going towards garage, and it's going to be real difficult to kind of break that defensive line because Cam is looking like a force to be reckoned with. Vince Wilfork on the field, but you can't put up too much of a front there because the offensive line is going to hold strong. The UNF Ospreys get themselves a second round win.
The Ospreys definitely keeping things interesting so far. I mean, they were in some good retake spots, but it looked like they're sometimes it looks like the communication is very clear, and they say, okay, let's check our sight lines. Let's make sure we have control over this site, and then you'll look over and see two of their players are looking in the exact same direction while there's an entire angle that's not being covered. So I'd like to see a little bit more communication by the Ospreys on the Ospreys on the retake opportunities whenever you see Virginia Tech coming in. But a great job by them to just really fake them out and get on B site just if a little bit later than they wanted to originally.
Mashu-sama and co. Gonna have to wait out watching that smoke come through. Not gonna give up too much intel just yet. You want to make sure that your opponent isn't gonna overstep their bounds, do any of the like. But what's important here is that you can see the Killjoy equipment entirely focused on that B side. So pushing over to the A side while the Sage is sitting in that middle area really lends itself to the Ospreys' favor. I mean, I'll take that 2 versus 5 any day if they can get the trades to go down as they want, but
You should run.
no real commit coming out at all. And look at that, the Ospreys taking a page out of Virginia textbook here. Going to be going with the fake Killjoy ultimate. But oh man, Virginia Tech, they're like, hey son, we're the one who wrote that dang book, and Jadon ready for this one, gonna be taking down Cam, and that's gonna blow the doors off this entire building here, folks, because the Ospreys respond in tow with 3 of their own before the spike gets planted.
With the spike down, possible retake opportunity here. It's going to be tough on the 2v4, but I mean, that Virginia Tech may have written the book on that, tried that on the Ospreys earlier, but just that half a second, just that tiny moment of second guessing where they were coming from gave UNF all the opportunity in the world to get on A site and start to roll. I mean, it pulled Virginia Tech out of position. That's where you saw those 3 frags come from. Just a little bit of questions, a little bit of indecisiveness, put that in their heads, pull them out of position, and that meant the world for the Ospreys right now as UNF getting the spike down on B side. We see a couple of fights right here. Oh, I do damage, taking down Spy Chicken. 3v1, but it doesn't matter. UNF is gonna get the kill right there. I do damage, very close to taking damage, but doesn't quite go down right there. But UNF now up 3-2 and adjusting very well to some of the things Virginia Tech's been doing to them on defense.
And that's really the big thing with playing offense on split, is you need to make sure you're constantly adjusting to your opponents. I mean, there have been changes made to the map to make some line of sights and some peaks a little friendlier to the offense, some easier holds when they get the spike down, preventing retakes, but it still does in fact have quite an uphill battle just because of the sheer height advantage in of itself that the map lends itself to this defense. So breaking through that wall is always a commendable trait, but the Ospreys are showing us why they've chosen this map as their second pick. Virginia Tech, across this game and our previous, have shown the struggle with their defense, and they're really gonna need to step it up here as the Ospreys are throwing out their ultimates willy-nilly, gonna be getting I do damage 1 kill onto the board, and Cam gonna throw the spike down with a 5 versus 4 in favor of the Ospreys.
Here.
Oh, look at that. The Killjoy ult from Virginia Tech going to follow suit as well, and that's huge for clearing out the site. You can see on your minimap what exactly it does clear out, but I do damage. Going to take down Jadon, dropping the operator. And that's going to be a massive loss of equipment there for Virginia Tech, because without the operator in their hands, the Ospreys, they can hold an angle if they pick it up. They can make some damage happen, but Soup is going to make sure they pay for that one. I do damage, picking up a 4K, playing with the ace, but just can't get it. Waffle, though, going to make sure that the kill and the round goes in their favor. Ospreys taking their 4th here on Split.
It's a great peek by I do damage in that moment with the, you have the Killjoy ult down. You don't want to get locked down, but you understand that you have to make sure you try to take down Jadon with that op. They move together very well. They take him down. Then they still find a way to get outside of the lockdown in that tiny little corner. Very well played by UNF. And Virginia Tech is doing some things well, but UNF is just starting to read some of their positions. And again, what it's coming down to is they're communicating and moving well together. So whenever one goes down, another one is right there to clean up after them.
The Blade Storm is used by Virginia Tech. Always a great tool when you're trying to save some money. If you can find that return on investment, that's always the big if. I do damage, gonna peek the corner. He was wondering if there'd be somebody there. Well, kicks are remind him that there is someone just waiting right there. Dino's gonna pick up 2 for Virginia Tech, and this defense now is starting to fire back against the offense of the Ospreys, but Monkey Style gonna be the last one standing, putting up a fight. Does take down 2 actually, but Jadon able to finish him off and get Virginia Tech a nice round.
Yeah, Virginia Tech needed that one just a little bit. Kind of fixes their economy problems or their economic problems just a little bit. Now you get the op back in Jadon's hands. You feel a little bit better about where you're at. You're still down by a round, but you feel good about winning that one right there. I want to see UNF be aggressive. It seems like every time that they've been aggressive and really just kind of decided on one side over another, it's paid off for them. If they want to feel it out and they want to kind of wait, that's awesome. But the waiting is just giving Virginia Tech a moment to get set up. I'd like to see them switch it up, be aggressive now, and then feel it out in the next round and keep Virginia Tech wondering what strategy they're going with.
And honestly, the big thing that can really affect teams and make or break them, Josh, as Kixer does a nice little showstopper ultimate elimination. But what really can affect teams is how they think on their feet and whether or not they can adjust to difficult scenarios like we're seeing Virginia Tech able to do right now, picking up a round win in the previous round. And now here in round 8 are poised to take it yet again and tie it up. And this is exactly what you need to see when you're down 0-1 in a series, is that stick-to-itiveness from a squad that, even though small deficits may happen, the bigger picture is still going to be painted, and that's a flawless from Virginia Tech. Nicely done by the squad, evening up the score.
Kicks are coming up big for Virginia Tech in that one, just taking down player after player after player. Now, I mean, you look at those stat lines right there at 10-4. Kicks are doing a lot of work for their team right now with Virginia Tech. But now Virginia Tech, you're tied 4-4, and you have the advantage. You know, you're going to have to get an eco round from UNF. They're going to have to pull back and try to get a thrifty here. It's not a lost round, but it's not going to be the most aggressive round. Now they have to pull back. Now they have to play a little bit slower because they just don't have the range that Virginia Tech does.
Oh, this is a quick push on the A side. You can see the Ospreys. They are done playing around. They do what they do best, and that's hit the nitrous, hold go, and hope left clicks land. It's 1-2 kills coming in now from the Ospreys as they were just catching their opponents off guard. And Monkey Style is just playing around with his food, throwing out his gun, just trying to get any baits that he can. But the showstopper is not going to find that target just yet. It will find Soup caught between a rocket and a hard place, I should be saying, as the Ospreys, with 4 members on the site, the spike in is down. And Jadon with this operator is going to try and break through the Ospreys line of defense here, but it's going to be difficult when Monkey Style peeks around like that. Nicely done, taking down the operator, picking that up for the Osprey squad. And Dino going to be the last one standing with a 4K going over the Monkey Style on a thrifty for the Ospreys. That's big.
I'm gonna stop telling the Ospreys what to do, because every time I tell them, every time I say, hey, slow it down just a little bit, feel it out, and then go in, they're just like, nope, we're just gonna go full bore 100 miles an hour as fast as we can. But it's working every single time they do it. I don't dislike the strategy of we have short range weapons. We're at a disadvantage on the guns. If we're going to win a thrifty, we need to close distance as much as possible. I'd rather feel it out and know exactly, or at least have a good idea of where everybody is, but without being able to get a lot of intel with the comp that they have, just rush in, see what you can do, close the distance, and that's exactly what they did, and they won the round off.
Dawn just barely missing the shot right there down the garage corridor. Monkey Style not playing with fire. Understands that they're kind of lucky to get out of that one already. No need to play with it again. And the Ospreys, wow. It's like the Offspring meets the UNF Ospreys. If you guys need a band name, I guess you can take that one free of charge right there. Could do a cover band
One day when these players have children and it's their offspring, they can call them their Ospreys.
Oh my gosh, there you go, Josh. Look at that's dad joke energy right there. And that's Dino's peeking around, taking down his counterpart. It's Clone Wars 2.0, my friend, and he's just waiting for an opportunity to strike at the jugular of the remaining Ospreys in that little barrel, but he's gonna actually get caught off guard. Monkey Style, the spray and pray works. The spray control was there for the double headshot. And just like that, the Ospreys, they're booking it across the middle of the map to take over B-site. But with Jadon ready with the operator, just barely gets touched on the backside by the paint can, picking up a kill that's crucial, and then gets a second on the cam. This Jet is carrying Virginia Tech through the 10th round. Spike goes down. Flash comes out. Mashu-sama does get away, but a little bit too much time spent on the Killjoy turret. That's going to leave the Ospreys with just one member standing, and that's Waffle just swinging a little too wide. I think Waffle's shoulder just peeked around the corner, and that's going to be all she wrote for the 10th round. Virginia Tech tying it up, and right now, Josh, we are sitting at the same exact score we were on map 1 at this point.
Jadon completely turned that round on its head for the Ospreys. They thought they were free and clear going to A site. You see here, Jadon gets the pick right there on Monkey Style, moves over, drops another one. Cam trying to peek and move past. Oh my gosh, on the rotation, trying to get over in position, and Jadon takes him down. That changed that round for Virginia Tech. Jadon has to hit shots like those with the op. and if he continues to do that in this match and in this map, it's going to be tough for UNF as they move in real fast. It looks like another aggressive push a little bit, or maybe it's just making a little bit of noise trying to figure out where they want to go.
And that's one of the best parts of Valorant offense in general, is the mind games you can play while your opponent is on the other side of that wall. Honestly, one of the reasons I love playing Yoru in my competitive games, but that's a conversation for another day because apparently nobody else has room in their heart for that agent, but I have enough for him, so that's enough for me. A nice
UNF is
spread
playing very,
formation
very
in the
slow
Josh.
right now. Yeah, I like the split, and I like them trying to play, like you said, play these mind games. Make Virginia Tech wonder where you're coming from. This is the style that I like playing mind games with people. If you haven't noticed, Beanies, but now they choose their rotation. They're moving into B site. Ashusama moving in, but Kickster takes down Monkey Style right there. That's a huge pick. You see the rotation. Oh my gosh, Kickster taking down Ashusama on the showstopper. Kickster taking down Cam. Kickster is pulling it out for their team right now. Spy Chicken moving in. You get the rotation finally over. Never quite got the spike down of Virginia Tech, reacting very, very well to that push by UNF.
Last round in the half.
And you mentioned earlier Kickster was putting up big numbers, but well, right there, picking up a 4K. We're going to see on the replay here. In the kill feed, got showstopper kill. The third was this Vandal, and then able to finish off the round with a 4th kill as well. So this Raze pick coming in from Virginia Tech is proving to be huge. Honestly, both squads, now that I think about it, because Raze obviously on this map going to be doing so much work with the explosives in these tight corridors, and it's great to see Monkey Style and Kickster are accomplishing the jobs that their team have set out for them. But it's slightly going over to Virginia Tech after that last round because of how well they executed. But look at that, Monkey Style trying to one-up their counterpart. But my gosh, Josh, I didn't even have time to think about it, and 3 members dropped from the offense. Make that 4 because the Ospreys, they only have Waffle left. And that's going to be it for the offense in the round that looked like they were going to be taken by storm. Virginia Tech 7-5 at half.
Kickster's ace was stolen from them. Do you see this right here? Picking off the 2 Dinos, getting Mashu-sama, and Dinos then going down. But now you see Kickster get the paint and then get the final. Like, oh, it's heartbreaking to have the ace stolen from you. But amazing play by Virginia Tech. It was a great call. They were in the right spots. But I will say this: if you're UNF, if you're the Ospreys in this position, you have to feel pretty good about it being 7-5 with you moving on to defense right now. It's not exactly where you'd want to be. Obviously, you'd like to be at more of an advantage, but like we talked about, you have an advantage being the defenders. And yes, on split, you can get rolled on very, very easily if you're the attackers first. But you have to feel pretty good if you're feel like you're in a pretty good position right now if you're UNF.
Very much so. The Ospreys are going to be able to try and fight back here. Monkey Style taking down 1. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade overall for the Ospreys, but the defense is going to have to try and play a little better right there because Mashima misses 1 right click, peeks around, does in fact drop there. A nice way to clear out the corner coming in from Cam, but Soup landing 2 classic kills right there, and there weren't even right clicks coming in, my friend. That's purely left click and aim. But look at the HP right now. Sage can heal herself in 25 seconds. That's a lot of time to have to get through. And the Killjoy from UNF is on the prowl with full HP available to them. They're going to be peeking around the corner. It's going to be running into one another. Soup is going to be trying to take down this Killjoy, but now they both know where the other is. And it's going to be a game of cat and mouse here. A nice grenade. Going to be cutting off the entrance for the time being for Sage. The Killjoy turret as well providing information. Soup doing a great job at clearing out the utility on the site. But that's exactly what the Killjoy wants you to do. A headshot there onto the Killjoy from the Ospreys is huge right now. Swinging the HP battle into the favor of Soup. And now this is anybody's round to take here, Josh. The spike is finally going to get planted. Some shots coming in. Waffle trading with this Ghost. It's going to be Ghost versus Classic. Who's going to come out on top? Waffle finds the angle, finds the line of sight, takes down Soup, and the Ospreys get themselves on the board here in the second half.
I love the cat and mouse game that we just saw right there. Both of these players doing an incredible job of forcing the other one to show themselves and getting out of the way just in time. But like you said, we saw right there with Soup in a great spot, just going back and forth, making sure to get the heels off, gave as much of an advantage as they could, got the spike down, which is huge for Virginia Tech's economy. But still, Waffle doing a good job of moving slowly, moving methodically, and forcing Soup into a bad spot to finally get that kill. Great job by both of those players. That's a fun pistol round between those two. But now the Ospreys in a good spot, only down one round, and they've got a few more to go on defense.
Oh, Soup is going to be playing a little bit with that fire in mid. Nobody's going to be peeking though, so just for the time being, playing around, seeing what they can gather. Fixer, though, is going to get peeked on at the worst possible time there. The Ospreys, a good fortune on their side. And the jet dash is going to be used, so Tailwind going to be getting them out of dodge there for Virginia Tech. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, 3 members are going to be pushing onto the site, taking down one. Cam is going to fall. Dino's going to take down I do damage as well. With Mashu just trying to get any kind of salvageable kill before the spike gets down. It does delay the spike plant just a little bit, but eventually it will be going down. And Mashu, oh my gosh. Mashu just barely missing the peak onto Jadon. That could have gone either way depending on how the flicks come out for Jadon, but nonetheless, Mashu is going to find that kill onto Spy Chicken, giving us a 3 versus 3. And with the ice wall being broken down here, it's going to be left up to the Ospreys to try and take control of the site. Mashima's going to be dropped right there, followed up by Monkey Style. Jadon is showing up big from behind, going to be taking down all their opponents. And Soup shoring up the final kill, getting the round over to Virginia Tech.
Mashu-sama was so close to finding Jadon on that flank. So close, and just didn't quite peek out. I get it. You want to be safe. You have the advantage there. Your teammates are moving in to try to stop to defuse the spike and try to take it back. But man, just that one extra little peek around the corner to see if somebody's there could have completely changed the complexion of what we just saw.
And that's one of the beauties of this game. Not only this specific series, but Valorant as a whole. Those minor differences. A game of millimeters, to be honest with you, is how you can see these rounds shifting from one way to another. And as cooldowns, utility just being thrown out, regurgitated by both of these teams. No real adjustment or eliminations has been made yet on the site, but the adjustments are coming through. Cam gonna find a kill with the Sheriff, and Monkey Style getting another one. The Sheriff kills from the Ospreys are huge, but the gun difference from Virginia Tech is even bigger. And with the 3 versus 2 on site, the spike will get planted, and there's a very little health pool left on this raise. Waffle is getting trickled down more and more by the moment. Just trying to find any damage that they can. No such luck for the Ospreys. Virginia Tech securing that 9th one.
UNF needs to do something. They need to figure out what to do to try to counter this just a little bit. But Virginia Tech kind of getting whatever they want on these pushes right now, especially whenever they've pushed towards B. They kind of get anything that they want. Looks like they might be favoring making a push on A right now. UNF, I mean, that's where they've been putting the Killjoy. All the Killjoy utilities been going over there, so it might be a little bit more of a difficult push. I would almost kind of say, like, keep pushing on B. They've been getting it every single time they get to push on there aggressively, but looks like they're going to move in aggressive again, try to get in there and get the spike planted before UNF has a chance to really even retaliate on them.
Oh man, just jumping onto the site. Spy Chicken gonna be taking down Waffle. Nicely done. Kicks are getting a kill as well, but the spike gonna be coming to a halt there as Virginia Tech a 5 versus 3 on the site. And a curious look on the minimap. You can see the Ospreys are in CT for the time being. They're just too afraid to even walk from their spawn down towards A site. They don't have the information. They're trying to take control of Heaven, but Mashima gets dropped by Soup right there. And now with the 2 versus 5 left up here, it's going to be a tall task to try and retake away from the Virginia Tech squad. And by all means, it looks like it's going to be just exit frags for the Ospreys. Take what you can get. Soup going to be dropping. And as the spike is about to go off, that's going to be double-digit round wins for Virginia Tech, 10-6.
At least you had 2 of your players saved there if you're UNF, but Virginia Tech is rolling right now. This is becoming very, very dangerous territory for the Ospreys, and they looked good in the first half of this map, but it looks like they're wavering just a little bit. The communication has been pretty strong the entire time, but there's a little bit of a breakdown because Virginia Tech is doing such a good job of pushing back on them immediately as soon as the round starts. And the Ospreys don't know what to do. They seem to work and operate better whenever they have a little bit more time to think, and Virginia Tech's just not giving that to them.
Getting a little aggressive here. Mashima going to be peeking around, but almost expecting it. The Virginia Tech Killjoy going to be dropping that turret. Just making sure that no one gets eliminated just yet. Spy Chicken going to stay alive for the time being. Virginia Tech is doing a very good job at just reading their opponents, forcing the Ospreys to try and think on their toes. The Killjoy utility spread out across the map, but the lone defender there on A site. So it's really going to be a tough task for this Ospreys defense to handle possible mid through A site push. By the looks of things, Virginia Tech really has their sights set onto B site, but Spy Chicken, did he know there's going to be a Phoenix right there? Phoenix can't land the shots. Mashima gets caught out with their pants down, and I do damage. Also cannot find any left clicks. That was awful for the Ospreys to have to deal with, because now they've lost 2 members on the site, and the rest of their team has to try and get over there in lightning fast time. Cam can't even get out of the situation now, and Virginia Tech doing an incredible job at taking advantage of such a slight misplay from the Ospreys.
Virginia Tech is just on point right now. They're moving. You know, one of the things we've seen from them all night long, for the most part, we've seen UNF move very, very well as a team and stick together. That's what Virginia Tech's changed. Their entire strategy now is we're all going to move as one unit. We're going to move together. It looks like they're peeling off one lurk right now, but we're going to move in together. We're going to move fast, and we're going to get the spike planted quick, and it's working for them.
Now 11-6. We did see a similar score line in the last game, albeit it was in the other side's favor. So the Ospreys now on the back end of this score is going to have to try and muster up a comeback here, only getting 1 round win on their defense. And Josh, something you and I talked about actually is we thought the Ospreys were going to come out on this map with a strong defense because it was the map that they chose. But so far, their offense has looked like the more salvageable part of this dance that they're doing here. And with Mashi-sama trying to get something started here for the defense, that's going to be a nice little run it back. Excuse me. It's going to be dropped there. A questionable use of the utility there kind of left me speechless. It looked like just barely couldn't see their opponent because of the breach utility. But Cam and Monkey Style each going to be lighting up the kill feed here. The Ospreys able to recover from a slight blunder. And with Jadon being the only member left standing, it's going to be a 1 versus 4 against 2 half-health opponents. So it is doable. But Jadon going to have to pull out some miracle plays, some lightning fast flicks, and just some pure old-fashioned good luck here, folks. Picks up the spike, gives away their position, does in fact fire. Not going to find a kill, but takes a few shots there onto their opponent. Oh, Josh, 3 members of the defense are at sub 25 HP, it looks like. And somehow Jadon is just still struggling to break this open. But Mashi-sama does go down. That could be what Jadon needed, but only 10 seconds left on the map.
10 seconds left.
Or excuse me, in the round. Virginia Tech is going to have to take this L, it looks, because Jadon just can't get the kills and can't get the spike down. UNF Ospreys get that final kill actually here. 3-piece going over the Monkey Style, and they're going to pick up their 2nd round win of the half.
And that's the that's a tough situation for Jadon to be in. You know, do you move in and try to get those frags and plant the spike, or do you just hold it back and save and realize, hey, we're up 11-6, we'll be up 11-7, we feel good about where we're in, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna and just keep whatever economy I have. But when you get stuck in that middle ground and you're like, okay, wait, and then all of a sudden you have 2 seconds left and you try to go in like that and you get dropped, it's just I would have liked to have seen Jadon be a little bit more decisive early and probably just pull back on that one.
Oh, you have 1 ultimate already being used. The showstopper is going to be thrown out. No such luck from Monkey Style, who was really just trying to shoot fish in a barrel, but couldn't even get away with anything right there. Actually going to fall at the hands of Soup. So very nicely done from the Sage on Virginia Tech. And now with the Virginia Tech squad choosing to just execute onto A site, not playing any mind games here, folks. Just looking for the left clicks in the aim training practice to be put to play here. And look at that, the Ospreys able to find Ospreys again. I just realized I said, but they're able to find themselves another set of eliminations. And even though Sage does get a resurrect off, the defense is still looking very pretty.
I don't know why you keep calling them Ospreys, because after those frags,
Freudian
those
slip,
they look like on sprays to me, beanies.
Yeah. Can you guys tell Josh is a dad? Can you tell? What gives it away, huh?
I have a lot of practice. Yeah, I got a lot of practice with it.
The wall gonna go up.
30 seconds left.
An interesting choice right there to use the wall. Just cut off the lone entrance from the zip lines. No one's going to be taking that anyway. So essentially a wall that has no value provided to it. And now Mashu Sama holding in speed alongside his teammate Cam, though, going to be the one taking the spotlight and the double kill for the Ospreys, picking up their 8th round win. They were down, but they are not out just yet.
No, they're definitely not out. It's still not an easy road. You're going against a team that's been successful in this region play so far throughout this round robin, and they've got 3 rounds up on you. So they're not out of it, but it's still going to be a difficult road. But if UNF, we've seen from map 1, we've seen this all night, and we've talked about it multiple times. It has been a game of runs for both of these teams. When one of these teams gets momentum, we see them go on a run for a few rounds, and then the other team, if they can counter, they take that momentum back, and then they run with it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few rounds.
Very much so. This is really going to be make or break territory here for the UNF Ospreys, because they have to make sure they don't let this momentum slip. And on the other hand, Virginia Tech, they're slipping off the ship right now, but all they need is one firm grasp onto the ledge to get themselves back into a good spot. And Dino's actually going to be trying their best to reach out a hand and grab his teammates. They're getting the first elimination for this offense, which is going to be taking a new route this time. Going to be going through that middle, down through sewers, but Cam sniffs out Spy Chicken, who is trying to do a little reconnaissance and may have just gotten a little bit too big with Jadon. With the Blade Storm waiting for someone to peek, but Waffle read the situation so well. Expected Jadon to be sitting right there after seeing him just moments before, and then gets the elimination. Now, Virginia Tech is going to get the spike down, so they do still have the ball in their court. It's going to be important that they set up proper crossfires here to make sure that they can get the trade kills they need and even pull out that necessary double kill someone's going to have to get.
UNF playing this so well, so slowly, keeping Virginia Tech wondering where they're going to be coming from. Instead of forcing the issue, they're playing the retake the way they want to. As Matsushima moves in real quick. Oh, doesn't quite get the kill on Kixer as Kixer takes him down, but Waffle taking down Kixer. UNF still has an advantage right here as Dinos takes down Cam. The 2v1. Ooh. Oh, but Dinos can't quite pull it off as I do damage finishes him off. And UNO is now gonna get the defuse off. Are they going to get it? Barely gets it off. Oh, man. UNF now taking the last 3 rounds in a row. It's 11-9. This is getting very, very interesting. And it's going to see, we got to look at the economy that Virginia Tech has now. Looks like they can pretty much buy out the way they want to, but it's going to be dangerous. If they lose another round right here and go down 11-10, UNF is going to have a lot of momentum.
Yeah, that's the name of Valorant. Momentum is king. You can have a awful set of rounds. We can see there was a four straight rounds going in the favor of Virginia Tech, but that doesn't matter at the present, because right now the Ospreys are the ones looking for that 4th round in a row. The Kixer, tired of dealing with this, is going to be putting their money where their mouth is, taking down one. Jadon as well following it up, and with the Killjoy ultimate following suit, Cam is trying to stabilize here for their team. This 3 versus 5 turning into a 2 versus 4 is not very good odds for the defense, who the first time in quite a few rounds have been put on the back foot. But Waffle, a crucial member of this comeback, has another elimination under their belt. Cam, another member, instituting a comeback for the Ospreys. Is going to have a crossfire set up with Killjoy, but the slows and the wall from Sage. Josh, this is why people take the Sage. It's not only what you can do on defense, but it's what you can do post-plant on offense as well. The angles that you can cut off, the slows you can force, just to make it even more difficult to peek anywhere. Spy Chicken, you're going to be taking that one, and Kixer missing the showstopper, but finishing it off with the Phantom. 12th round win for Virginia Tech. We're sitting at game 2 point.
Yeah, Virginia Tech just coming out really, really highly aggressive there, understanding like we need to make something happen, or else we're going to start being in a little bit of trouble. And you see now, after UNF, they needed to win that round. They got a half, but they're going to have a half buy, and they're trying to force it as much as they can. But being down 12-9, and you've got a Sheriff out, you've got a Spectre out, you've got half shields. This is going to be very, very difficult for UNF on this in this round. We're most likely going to a map 3 here, Beanies.
I mean, I want to say the same thing, but you can't count the Ospreys out just yet. This team has strung together a string of 4 rounds before, so it's not to say it can't happen. They're going to have quite the task ahead of them because Waffle and Mashu-sama have already been eliminated here. Cam and Co are going to have to try and fight back at this disadvantage, and it's doing good so far, taking down one. Need to find the others. Monkey style, lining up the headshot on the Jadon, and this could be exactly what the Ospreys were looking for, but Soup, the flanking Sage, is going to find the kill on the Monkey style. With the spike down, the timer is ticking for the defense to take control. I Do Damage is going to be following up with Cam, but they cannot pick up the kills because Spy Chicken gets the 3-piece, gets the round win, and gets the game for Virginia Tech as we are going to be heading into a game 3.
I'm excited. It's been a great matchup between these two teams all night long. And we saw UNF. I thought UNF, with them picking split, I thought they'd come out a little bit stronger on defense, but it could have just been Virginia Tech just countering what UNF was doing well and just being highly aggressive. It paid off for them, and we saw Virginia Tech go on one of the longest runs we've seen tonight, where it's just round after round after round they were forcing the issue, pushing the subject, and UNF didn't know how to respond to them.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things I want to keep circling back to is how much you and I thought that this was going to be the UNF map, where they were going to take split. They were going to show up on defense. They had a plan. They were practiced. But whatever plan they had, it must have been a model of Swiss cheese, because there were just a ton of holes in it that the side of Virginia Tech was able to easily find. And I mean, we even mentioned it. I think their defense was the weaker portion of their game overall, where I think they got 5 rounds on offense and 4 rounds on defense. So really, it's a question for why they went with split. I want to know what went wrong. And I guess if we end up seeing UNF take this series, we'll have a chance to talk to them about that in that post-game interview. But before we can get to that, Josh, we're going to have to get to game 3, and we're going to have to get to a very quick break. So don't go anywhere, guys. We got game 3 of CF1 coming at you. Welcome back, everybody. Beanie's joined alongside Josh here, and we have had quite the series on our hands so far with Virginia Tech and the UNF Ospreys, each respectively taking not only one map, but the map that their opponents had chosen to play. So I guess neither team really knew what they were coming in ready for. I guess regardless, we're going into Haven on the third map, and Josh, I feel like Haven ultimately comes down to being almost everybody's go-to, let's just sell it on Haven kind of thing, because everyone knows Haven is pretty much a 50-50 split offense defense. Comes down to who executes better and who plays when it comes to it.
Yeah, and you know, going as you say that, and we talk about Haven, we know what kind of map Haven is. My gut tells me that this favors Virginia Tech a little bit. If UNF, if the Ospreys were going to surprise Virginia Tech tonight, they did it in map 1, and I think they well, maybe not desperately, that's the wrong word, but yeah, and us, yeah, absolutely. They needed to take map 2. It was their pick, but you know, they had a lot of utility for attack. We talked about how their offensive map 2 was great. Well, they had two sets of flashes. Of course, their initiation was going to be a little bit better. Their offense was going to be a little bit better, but when they got to the defensive side of things, they didn't have a lot of ways to gain intel. They didn't have a lot of other utility that they would need other than a killjoy to really put Virginia Tech on their heels a little bit. Now going into map 3, when you've got a map, like you said, it's a little 50-50, and it really just comes down to skill. Well, you have a Virginia Tech team that started hitting shots. And I say this almost every single time. This game, with all the strategy, all the mind games that you can play, it all comes down to hitting shots. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? And that's what Virginia exactly. And Virginia Tech was winning those 1v1s, they were winning those 2v2s, they were getting the picks that they needed to, and they were hitting the shots. And so now you have a Virginia Tech team that's rolling with the momentum and a little coming off a little hot from map 2. It's going to be interesting to see how they play, but I gotta give Virginia Tech a little bit of favor going into map 3, because I think the skill gap is just ever so slightly in their favor. I don't feel super comfortable about this pick, Beanies, but I feel comfortable enough to say it.
All right, well, Josh, I hate to put you on the spot like this, but give me a round score. You said Virginia Tech's going to take it. What do you think? 13 to what? Or are we even hitting overtime?
You know, with the way we saw Virginia Tech play and the way we saw UNF counter, with a 50-50 map like Haven, I'm going to say Virginia Tech goes on a little bit of a run, but UNF battles back, and it's just not quite enough. I'm going to say 13-8 Virginia Tech. I can see Virginia Tech coming off a little hot. Yeah, or UNF coming off a little hot in the beginning, and then Virginia Tech goes on a nice roll, and then UNF kind of they do that bounce back and forth, but there's going to be about a 4 or 5 round time period in the middle of this map where Virginia Tech pulls ahead a little bit, and it's just too much for UNF to overcome.
Well, I mean, we saw that 4 round happen in split. I believe 4 of the first 5 rounds on the offense for Virginia Tech were wins for them. So, I mean, if that's not the best way to have your offense on split start, I don't know what is, my friends. Just missing out that pistol round or not even pistol round, maybe second round, regardless. They missed out 1 round win, and Virginia Tech ready to take this game 3. While the Ospreys, we talked about this all broadcast, Josh. The Ospreys, they're in a little different situation than Virginia Tech. They're fighting for their CF1 lives, folks, because at the end of 9 weeks of competition, only the top 6 teams from every group are going to be making it into our second split. And the Ospreys, they're teetering on that 6th place line right now, and they need every win that they can get.
You know, and sometimes it's just tough. You get the wrong draw at the wrong time, and the Ospreys have played. You know, I don't want to take away from what they've done the entire night. The Ospreys have played phenomenally tonight against Virginia Tech, and there were times in map 2 where they played very, very well. But it's going to come down to, if they can handle another loss, but it feels bad going into the last 2 weeks of CF1 play. If instead of 3 and 4, you're 2 and 5 all of a sudden, and it makes your life that much harder to try to stay in this play and move on to split 2 in the round robin. And so it's going to be interesting. You have a very skilled Virginia Tech team, but you have a UNF team that has their backs against the wall, and they need every single win that they can get at this point.
Very much so. And you can see the UNF Ospreys, they are not playing around. They got themselves a 5-agent lock-in. quite quickly here, we can take a look down the board. Going to be seeing a Cypher, I believe, for the first time coming in from Waffle here, but
Select your
seeing
agent.
some picks that we've already seen before. The best of, I guess, they're playing on their hit list because Mashima going to be getting themselves a little bit of Reyna play. Seeing that Raze come back for Monkey Style, and I do damage, staying true to that Omen duty. But across the board here, Virginia Tech taking a little longer with their lock-ins, and overall, we have very much different compositions. And I think that's going to make this an even more interesting game because we're not seeing mirror play. We're seeing all unique agents bring their best to the table, and that's going to be the best part of this.
Well, and I feel a little bit better about the composition that UNF is rolling right now. It's almost like they're overcorrecting, but on Haven, it's completely fine. They're going to have a lot of intel that they're going to gain from their Sova, and like they had no intel in map 2. But now all of a sudden they've got all the intel in the world, and Cypher is I think Waffle on Cypher is a great pick for them because now they're going to know exactly everything that they need to know. And I believe they chose defense to start out, correct? So this is going to be big for them. They need to go out on a run here early. They cannot let Virginia Tech get aggressive and push on them the way they did in map 2. They've got to hold them off and play well on defense here. If they can get out to a decent lead on defense, then they'll have a shot. But it's with Virginia Tech being on defense second, that's going to be a little bit tougher for them to handle.
And what I really love is the differing 3 agents from each of these compositions, but how they all fit the same exact role.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams running double duelist controller. You got the Sentinel, and then you got the Sova sitting there as well. And just the slight differences, it's really that flavor that makes each of these players unique and really what lends them the ability to contribute to their team in their own unique ways here. I mean, a Killjoy not going to do what a Cypher can, even though it's the same general role as Mashu-sama, going to be doing things only Reyna can, and that's healing off the kill there. But unfortunately, is stuck between 2 members of the opposition. Cam, though, going to be dropping 2 for the Ospreys, leaving just 1 member of Virginia Tech standing. But Soup on the Silver going to be putting up a heck of a fight here, even as the defuse comes through. They know where he is. It's just a matter of landing those few bullets maybe through the wall, and Waffle is going to win these lucky lotteries and take that kill at the end of the round.
And we saw an early flank by Masushama going on A, understand, knowing that if Virginia Tech is gonna rush B like that and go straight into mid and plant the spike, why not have one of your top fraggers on the flank on a Reyna of all things? And that peeled Virginia Tech back just long enough to keep their eyes off of everything, and it split them so they got sandwiched and pinched. And I think that's a smart play by UNF. If Virginia Tech's going to be aggressive, well, force them into bad situations because of their aggressiveness.
One of the great things about this map, you can see, talking about the aggressiveness, is the 3 different avenues, or excuse me, the 3 different bomb sites there are, but overall, 5 different avenues to get there just about. You can get even more specific, but it's a really nice touch that the offense gets here with the 3 sites. They can really choose a single site to just completely execute on, and if the defense is spread thin enough, you can really find the opening in the armor. As Dino's and Virginia Tech Sova just dancing around here with the spike on A short. Spy Chicken still dancing at the garage, though. You're going to have to be careful. You don't want to give up your life here, along with the Raze, because Monkey Style, with that gun advantage, holds the Spectre, but peeks just a second too late. Not going to find anyone there. And more Virginia Tech is grouping up around that A side here. It's interesting that they're willing to group up in such a tight corridor. Usually I feel very nervous about having 3 members sitting in that tight A short area. Meanwhile, we're talking about this. The Ospreys are actually going to pick up 3 kills back to back to back. A nice shock arrow to finish off the trifecta. With Dino's trying to salvage what they can from this round. It's going to be a clean ace from the Ospreys, taking the second round.
And you couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Ospreys. You know, they're playing very, very well. They're not letting themselves get baited out. And, you know, Virginia Tech trying to play a few mind games, bouncing back and forth, but they tried to go C long. Cypher had that locked down. They tried to peek Garage, but Monkey Style was there waiting and not being drawn out, not overextending. And then they decided to rotate over to A. And like you said, they cluster over on A, but it just wasn't enough. They split too much. They were too indecisive. And UNF is doing a good job of just holding strong, holding their angles, and waiting for Virginia Tech to come to them.
Eyes up.
And that's really what you need to be doing on the defense. You don't want to overcomplicate things. It's already a map, as I was rambling on about last round. It's already a map that has so many different ways the offense can strike and find an opening. So you really don't want to make things even worse on yourself and just find the sure line of sight so you can hold down. Make sure you don't overstep anything. But unfortunately for the Ospreys, they do lose a member in Garage. And now that's going to have the rest of Virginia Tech, after actually flocking like vultures to their prey, but not going to commit to anything just yet, are still hesitant to push through Garage, whether that be from lack of utility or not wanting to spend that utility just yet. They are going to be moving up the C long site. As they leave that Killjoy by Garage. We need to keep note of that Killjoy, see if she can come up and make a play happen with that Omen. But for the meanwhile, the rest of the team is going to be moving up C site, and the only one they have to deal with is Waffle on this Cypher. Even with Waffle taking down that recon arrow, they don't know where they are just yet. So Waffle able to stay stealthy, play some Metal Gear Solid out here, while J-Dog picks up 2. Nicely done. Ultimately going to be 3 for 1 going in favor of Virginia Tech, as Dinos does get the plant down, and Mashu-sama going to salvage out a Vandal from this. And I think that's a pretty good time to take a save round here for Mashu-sama. Maybe go for an exit killer too, but you get a Vandal and full armor and you get out alive, that's not too shabby for a loss.
No, especially whenever Mashu-sama is one of your top, you know, has time and time again been somebody that you need to have all the best equipment on. If you can save a little bit of economy on them, I think that's right. You can't win this. If the Vandal wasn't there, I'm fine with going in and trying to get a couple of picks, see what you can do. But in this moment, yeah, I wouldn't even go for the exit frags. Just back off, save just a little bit, pull back just as much as you need to. Don't overextend. Are they going to meet right here? No, looks like Virginia Tech, Mashu-sama's going for it, but they don't quite peek around. Oh, man, I thought we were going to see a little bit of a face-off there, but I'm completely fine with the save right there, especially after picking up a Vandal.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a nice salvageable W from an otherwise lost round here. You can take a look at the money afforded to both of these teams. Spy Chicken just taking their time buying, going to get that full armor, but forego purchasing anything else. An interesting choice here when you have that kind of money to spend, the 3,400 credits or so. It's always tough deciding what to buy. Going to end up going with a Ghost, so we'll have to see if that pistol is going to have much effectiveness in this round here, where the rest of the 9 players have themselves assault rifles. Jadon, some nice feet. Dare I say, doing some dirty dancing there to avoid the Hunter's Fury. It's, you know, when you laugh in the background like that, it's like when sitcoms have the laugh track going, where even if it's not funny, the fact that you laugh, like other people might like blow air out of their nose a little hard, you know? And that's the goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm just here to be your laugh track.
Let me take a chance at being yours too. Don't worry. It might be a little unconventional laugh, but I swear.
You've already done it twice tonight with my dad jokes. You've done it more than enough, I promise. Oh, Mashu-sama coming in big and getting the pick on Dinos. Virginia Tech moving in very, very quickly. But UNF, I like seeing they're not letting themselves be pulled out too quickly. Waffle on the defuse. Waffle still defusing somehow. Soup finally getting him and taking him down. Getting it halfway though. That was a gutsy defuse by Waffle. Actually, almost getting very close to getting it. But Jadon right here with the flash. Got a 3-on-2. Spy Chicken taking down Cam, but I do damage taking down Spy Chicken. I do damage taking down Jadon. We got a 1v1 situation with the spike at halfway. Oh.
It's just such a hard duel to win. Oh, he gets the kill though, but he's gonna get the defuse. No, not enough time there, Josh. Oh, The Ospreys are just barely unable to get that defuse off. I do damage was, what? I think it's at 0.91 seconds away from finishing off that defuse. Just, oh,
Yep.
you hate to see it. Such a nicely earned defuse that was just played well by Virginia Tech, even if they didn't win the gunfight.
I mean, we just keep seeing round after round how evenly matched these teams can be. UNF is a very, very talented team, and you know, I would love to see them counter some of the aggression that Virginia Tech's been showing so far. But I also don't mind them, you know, staying back, being a little bit passive, and letting Virginia Tech come to them. But you know, in the first round, we saw a rain of flank on the aggressive move towards the middle. I'd like to see a little bit more of the flanking action. Try to throw Virginia Tech off, make them start thinking about their backs. Is somebody coming from behind? Do we need to look behind? You know, throw them on their toes that way.
Cam using this drone to just clear out the C long again, or A long, excuse me, just ensuring that no one's going to be stepping onto their turf. They have 3 people hovering this A site, A to B link that isn't anywhere near the rest of the offense, but that paint canister coming in is going to be doing a nice bit of work, just pushing Jadon off the site. Dino's in Monkey Style and Co. Really doing a great job at making sure that just keep the defense on their toes. Even if they are going loud through towards A site, they're just beating out the defense in a foot race, and Mashusama loses that element of surprise with the judge, which honestly, Josh, a lot of the time you're banking on that element of surprise with the judge, and that is Soup playing around that knowledge, getting the elimination, and the defense is just falling apart at the seams after that. Virginia Tech, 3 members left standing after a nicely played offense.
Well, and you know, the Reyna actually looking like they were going to try to go for a flank or at least hold on to that spot, but got stuck in a really, really bad position on the rotation. It's a great rotation by Virginia Tech to move over towards A site, realizing that there was probably only 1, maybe 2 people over there, and they had a pretty good chance of taking it over before you would see UNF rotate, and they got it down, but they make it quick work of UNF on that in that round.
Exactly. UNF on the defense going to have to try and reset themselves a little bit. Don't want to give up too much after a tough round like that, but you can see A site is being toyed with here. And the Cypher traps are going to be unaffecting this for the time being. If they commit to the A site, maybe that kind of knowledge is going into their game plan here, but the Killjoy really going to have to save that utility for the post plant if they pick up the turret, I believe. The Cam sending out the shock dart. It's going to be taken down. A little bit of health, it looks like. Maybe a little bit onto that Phoenix. Maybe a little bit onto the Rays. But overall, just delaying the inevitable.
Oh.
And then, oh, look at that. The bouncing. That was so nicely done with the C4 packs by Rays, using that mobility to just force too much of a line of sight change there. Now, Virginia Tech hit the go button, drop the Killjoy ultimate, and they are planting the spike. Plant goes down, nice and safe. Jadon going to be lurking around that A side. You can see that there's quite a collection of people around this heaven area, but actually under hell is going to be the location of most of this hold from the offense. Spy Chicken picking up a 3-piece. Nicely done for Virginia Tech, who is up 4-2 after taking 4 straight rounds. And, I mean, I don't want to speak too early, but so far my caster's prediction looking kind of slick here, if you ask me.
I thought it was going to come a little bit later, but I mean, this is kind of the area where we saw Virginia Tech start to pick up some of the steam in map 2 and start to pull away. And you look at the post plant positions that they're choosing. I mean, they're just putting themselves in spots for the Ospreys to walk just into a firing line in both of the rounds that we just saw. The Ospreys walked into a firing line, and Virginia Tech just whoever their shot caller is right now is just making some very, very good calls based off of what the Ospreys have done so far tonight.
The Waffle going to be giving away their location and their gun with that set of firing, and actually going to be giving away their life because they do not back off the site for the retake. The Ospreys now with 4 strong are going to have to try and retake in Monkey Style. Oh my gosh, dancing in the moonlight, gonna be getting away, dodging bullets just barely with 71 HP, getting out with a kill. That is huge right there, evening the odds for this retake. That is gonna be coming out on a thrifty round. SpyChicken putting to short work one member, Jadon, finding a little peek around the cam, but ultimately the Ospreys trying to get onto the site, just cannot find their way on. Call it gun advantage if you want, call it outplayed if you want, but Virginia Tech gets their 5th straight round here up against the Ospreys.
Kixer's movement in the last few rounds has just been absolutely on point. We saw the skipping with the satchel charges. Now we just saw the using the satchel charge to get up and take the high ground as they bum rushed from C long. And Kixer is just time after time after time. We've seen them make big plays, but the big plays the last 2 rounds haven't even necessarily been the kills. The skipping in front of Mashu-sama opened up a kill for Jadon. The going up on top and taking the high ground opened up another kill, making some very, very getting some very big openings for their teammates right now. Kixer is doing a great job.
Yeah, and that's the creativity coming in from Virginia Tech that they've been putting on display this entire series with how they like to execute strategies, the mind games they like to play. And it's really a fantastic thing to watch here as Virginia Tech bouncing back from a tough game 1 here, going into game 2, getting that W, now in game 3, holding a lead over the Ospreys, who again, this Osprey squad trying their best to stay alive, looking for split 2 of CF1, and they gotta make sure they get any wins that they can. Where Virginia Tech have woken up here, and while they have the run it back active, not going to find anyone to eliminate, just clearing out the site for information. And then the Hunter Fury is going to be used, going to find one. Dinos gives up their life for the spike plant. Monkey Style also taking down SpyChicken. So a huge swing right now going into the favor of the UNF Ospreys squad, as Virginia Tech looking a little worse for wear right now. Raze has been exposed by the Silva Arrow. Monkey Style's trading out Showstoppers with Kixer, and that's going to be Monkey Style taking the win there in the trade. But Jadon dropping the spike diffuser, just delaying the time. Soup taking down one, Soup taking down another, and now Soup with the Hunter's Fury is going to play defense. They have to try and rush his ultimate, but he's going to sniff this out. He knows they're coming for him. He pulls out the gun, gets one, he's looking for the second, but he can't get out there in time. Isn't going to find the kill either. And the Ospreys are able to stop the bleeding from Virginia Tech's onslaught and get themselves back on that board.
That was an absolutely incredible play by, I believe it was SpyChicken at the end, to just, hey, it's 2-on-1. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to force Soup to I'm either going to get him or he's going to get me, but that's going to give you more than enough time to defuse the spike. That was a great play. Soup doing everything he could in that moment. I mean, he was in a 4v1, drops 2, drops 3, and then all of a sudden has a chance for the 4th. Just doesn't quite have enough time to do it. But, you know, the Ospreys, again, we've been bouncing back and forth through these runs, through rounds, and I wonder if some of the momentum starts to go in the Ospreys' favor now.
Kixer trying to just clear out the corners now with the little Roomba bot. More like Roomba Boomba bot. Good boom. Little jokes right there. Silvadrone, though, going to be peeking out through the smoke, just clearing out the site a little bit, making sure that B is nice and clear for executing. Even though I haven't seen this done too often, I love seeing B site taken just for the ability to push over to C or A through the enemy spawn. Unfortunately, we aren't going to see that just yet because the defense from the Ospreys, they're showing up big time here, covering both that A and C link, leaving only B accessible here for the spike to get planned. And SpyChicken, reading the flank like a children's book, going to be taking down one.
And again, Kixer making sure that they're getting good movement, getting in a good spot where they can see multiple different people coming from multiple different angles. The Osprey is just trying to peek, see if they can come into B, but Jadon takes down Waffle, and I do damage goes down to Kixer in that spot. The Osprey is pulling back towards A. Just going to go ahead and save here. Mashu-sama just knowing he got that op, don't want to lose it here in this moment. Knows that people are going to be hunting. Let's see if they match. I mean, this round is Virginia Tech's, but let's see if Mashu-sama can get a pick right there on Soup. Soup goes down. What a shot by Mashu-sama. Knowing that somebody was going to come hunting for them, decided to go ahead and take one down. A little bit happy with that one. But again, Virginia Tech takes the round, so you can get all the kills you want, but Virginia Tech now out to a 3-round lead.
Yeah, they're starting to take it back here, see if they can go on another run. Meanwhile, the Ospreys do have a little bit of a silver lining. You mentioned that the operator does get out alive, so even if they have to go with a thrifty half buy this round, they do have the reliability of an operator to at least open up the possibility of a win, because you get one kill, you can easily snowball that into more once you pick up the opponent's weapon. That's going to be in the hands of Mashu-sama here, with the operator looking to peek down A short. Only one member of the offense is around there, but that Sova is not going to be doing too much. Souk just peeking, actually does step out, and Machu-sama gets the headshot. And look at that. You're going to see that defense is trying to get their Sova possibly in position to either pick up that gun or respond to anyone who comes to hover the body, but it's going to be the offense of Virginia Tech heading up straight through B site. And as they're down one member here, Josh, it's going to be tough for them to win the trades. We need to see a double kill coming big. They were able to take control of the B site pretty convincingly last time, but this time the defense is responding just as intensely, and they do have the advantage. But Kixer is going to cut that advantage down to size here, leaving us with a 3v3 after Jadon responds with a kill as well. And the Killjoy ultimate comes out. A beautiful spot there as well. Nice, a safe location, and look at the areas it cuts off. Dinos also getting a kill there on the Mashu-sama. Virginia Tech playing this offense very well.
Post paint positions in a good spot. Spy Chicken getting a little lucky there that Cam didn't see them. Would have liked to see them up against the wall, but Jadon taking down Monkey style right there, and Virginia Tech takes another one. I mean, Virginia Tech is just on a roll right now. They're putting themselves, I like the decisions they're making. They say, no, we're not going to go there. We're going to go back to B. We're going to plant the spike, and we're going to get it down quick. The smokes by the Brimstone. I think this is one of the biggest differences between what these two teams are doing right now, is those smokes from Brimstone have been absolutely on point every single time that they have planted on B. You saw Mashu-sama right there, had a clear sight line towards B, but all of a sudden the boom bot comes out. Then you get the smokes down to clear that off. Great play by Virginia Tech to really set up a perfect plant opportunity.
Location revealed for Mashu-sama, who may have been going for something a little stealthy, but look at the speed of Virginia Tech right now. They understand the opportunity afforded to them, and they are going to take it, taking control of A side here before anyone from the defense can even respond. That's going to be Sova sitting up in heaven. Actually, Ray's joining Sova up there as well. Now Cam going to try and hit a cheeky little shock arrow. No such luck to be found. No headshot either with the Sheriff. He's giving away his position, and that's going to be tough for Cam to get back from. That's going to be a go button actually from the Rays, getting a little too big for their britches. They're going to fall as it's going to be lighting up the kill feed. You're going to see red covering your screen, folks, because that's Virginia Tech taking the round here, 8-3. And we are in the last round before halftime, my friends.
Monkey style trying to do some cool movements flying through the air on the Rays, kind of like what we've been seeing from Kixer all night, but didn't quite pan out for them. But we saw it again. I mean, we've seen it, it's been a little iffy. The Ospreys doing a good job of countering some of the plants, some of the post plants that Virginia Tech has had. But again, we saw Virginia Tech put themselves in whenever they plant on A. Their B plants have been great, but their post plant positions on A are it's a wrecking ball as soon as UNF gets in there. It's like going through a blender every single time. And you see UNF finally makes a push to try to get the retake, and they just all drop so quickly with Virginia Tech. I'm loving the strategy on the A side.
Just trying to use all their utility before they get boxed in. The run it back is going to get canceled out, so nicely done by the Ospreys Rays, but unfortunately staying in the same spot. Sova's going to have a read on you. Shock arrow is going to hit once, but not again, as the Rays from the Ospreys is chunked down to what looks like about 50 health. Virginia Tech still in control of the spike and looking to control B site. You have to be worried about I Do Damage, who is waiting for someone to hit that sniper trap, even though Dinos does respond, taking down one. It's just trades coming through as the site is going to be taken over by Virginia Tech. The Neural Theft is going to be used here, giving away the enemy's location. Surprise, they're hanging on to B side here with the defense now pushing through that A link. Spy Chicken's going to be dropping one. Does lose a little bit of HP in the process, but still winning the gunfight. Now the spike has yet to go down. Virginia Tech is just trying to win this purely by destroying their opponents. Cam, though, getting out in a nick of time. Going to be doing a little bit of fancy footwork. Now the spike going to be heading over to the C site with a safe plant coming through. You gotta wonder, are the Ospreys going to be going for this? Or are they going to be able to pull it off? Cam moving up towards C.
One enemy remaining.
Gonna find one with the headshot. Nicely done. 70 HP. Has the advantage over Chicken and has the Hunter's Fury. You have the cooldowns available to you, my friend. Make sure you use all of them, and that's gonna be one of them thrown out. This recon arrow misses its mark. So no information going to be gathered from that cooldown. And the spike starting to pick up, but Spy Chicken's going to peek around the corner. Only left with 4 HP, 11 HP on Cam because the turret contributes, helping out the Killjoy as best as it can. And now Cam trying to play with fire right now, but Spy Chicken was ready for that, and that's going to be Virginia Tech taking the first half 9-3.
Great effort by Cam there to try to make something happen before the side switch, but Virginia Tech again, like there's a point there where it looked like UNF had them on their heels, but Virginia Tech adjusting nicely. You brought this up earlier. How are both of these teams going to respond in these tight moments where they have to adjust on the fly in the heat of battle? Virginia Tech has been doing that very, very well, and they did that again, fighting that out, working their way through B, and then moving over towards C and getting the plant. Now they're up 9-3, and look, I could see this is the point where you get the round switch. We saw this from UNF before. They take a little bit of momentum after the pistol round, and now they're on offense too. Leans a little bit towards in favor of offense on Haven, and so now we can see UNF go on a run, but it's hard to come back from being down 6 rounds against a squad like Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and Phoenix is just one of those duelist agents that's always going to be useful. So many parts of his kit can be useful, whether you're on offense, whether you're on defense, the wall, the flash, the run it back. It's all going to be able to get you what it needs, and that's information or prevent information from being gathered. Meanwhile, the Reyna is going to rely a lot on that gunplay, a lot on securing kills. Thankfully, actually, the recent changes took away the need for her to secure the kill. Just needs to contribute to it at the cost of 2 of those soul orbs. And actually, talking to Miami and their Reyna player, they were saying that in the competitive setting, they believe that those Reyna changes are a buff. So maybe, just maybe, the Ospreys can give us a showing on what Reyna can do. And that's going to be the go button. C-Site is taken over here. Mashu-sama going to be striking first blood there with the Reyna. Spy Chicken going to get dropped in that exchange. And now the spike is going to get planted. Cam giving up their life for the spike. A nice lineup there by Kixer, going to be taking down the Sova, leaving a 4 versus 4 in the site. But the spike did get dropped in time. A crucial part of that exchange. Trade coming out, but I do damage showing off the frenzy. Getting the 2-piece somehow? I don't know where the Omen pulled that 2-piece out of. That's going to be a nice pistol round coming in from the Ospreys.
I struggle to get a single kill in an entire magazine on a frenzy. I have no idea how he just dropped 2 on 1 magazine. That's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, here we see it. We see UNF take another pistol round. They've done really well early on, but once we get to those gun rounds, that's where we see it start to flip. So we're going to see another half buy, another low round. We'll see what happens with the Ospreys. The closer range fights tend to favor them a little bit more. So I could see them taking this round. But once we get to those gun rounds, we're gonna see if they can steal some of that momentum from Virginia Tech. Very aggressive defense from Virginia Tech already on long C, and now you're seeing the full rotation over to A right now. UNF is just moving over to A as Waffle takes down J-Don. That is a clear A site. Now Virginia Tech's coming over and rotating, but man, it's just a little bit too late. It's going to be a tough retake by them.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to be an easy task at all. Mashu-sama and Monkey Style going to be lighting up the kill feed there, picking up some eliminations for themselves. Spy Chicken now. When you're the last person, you know that the cam's going to be on you, and giving us a little show in there with the pretty spray, I will say. Thank you for showing that off, Spy Chicken. Unfortunately, the walls are going to be paying with you very shortly because you're going up against a 1v5, my friend, and the spike's going off. 34 HP left. Spy Chicken's just trying to get any eliminations that they can. Really just drop in the armor as well. Take the small victories, but Monkey Style getting the 3-piece. The flawless over to the Ospreys. And this offense from UNF is looking very, very good in the early stages.
It's decisive and it's aggressive, and that's the way they need to play right now. Get the spike where you want it to be before they have a chance to react. And now you already see, you're looking at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech goes with a full buy. They're going with a gun round, and it looks like UNF might be a little thrifty. Mashu Sama deciding to go with the Phantom right here to get a little bit of range, but it looks like UNF is going to kind of pull back, stay with those Spectres, and try to save for just one more round. But Virginia Tech, when they get in these gun rounds, they've been stealing the momentum from UNF every time.
Kixer takes down Monkey Style early, actually. So that's going to be big for Virginia Tech, looking to stabilize here, get their first win on the defense. Is now with the spikes just sitting there back at C site, or at the back end of C long, I should be saying. Sorry. Omen's going to be picking that up with the intent of what looks like taking it over to A site. A good choice. Only one member holding up in heaven, and that's going to be J-Dawn on this Phoenix. Sova going to respond quickly from that A to B link. We'll have to see if J-Dawn can take anyone down before the site gets exposed, before the site gets taken over. It's going to be tough to do that with an Omen smoke in your face. Looking for the lineups. Maybe take a shot or two, but no. J-Dawn standing, waiting for the recon dart, and that's the teamwork. That's the communication we're looking for. J-Dawn holding off, giving away their position until the recon got one single member to show up. And now, Virginia Tech is looking to snowball that small advantage into taking this round. The spike has been planted, so the defuse is going to need to come in. The trades are going to show up as well. 2 kills though, 3 kills going into the favor of the Ospreys, who now have an even out fight and make that 2 versus 1. And just like that, the Ospreys are able to come back off the back of Cam and Waffle, making some huge individual plays here after the spikes planted.
Cam and Waffle just put the entire team on their back, and UNF needed that. Now they get to move into a gun round. Virginia Tech had all, like Waffle right there getting the pick. Virginia Tech had all the advantage and all the momentum in that. It was a 5v3, and on the retake, play that slowly, force them to move out of position. I mean, yes, the spike is down. You don't want to take too much time, but you can take a little bit more time. And now you've got Bucky's and Classics out. This is going to be interesting to see how Virginia Tech responds to this. But the Ospreys, like I said, going on a little bit of a run after that gun round. They take a little bit of the momentum. Now they have the guns, and we can see what they've got, the advantage. They've got the range advantage. We can see what they can do. We might be seeing 9-7 real soon. Oh, as Mashu Sama takes down Spy Chicken right there with the Phantom. That's what happens when you get a Phantom versus a Bucky, Beanies.
Smoke's down.
If you're gonna ask me, I would take a Bucky every time because I love that gun. It is a beautiful gun to get some headshots with. Dino's understands my love for this gun. Going to be staying true to that. Meanwhile, the Virginia Tech Sova here, Soup, going to be sniffing out a possible relocation of the spike for the Ospreys. Going towards that A site, but J-Dawn on A short. Patience, the trigger discipline, but doesn't line up the headshot. Hits Waffle, I believe. Doesn't even hit Waffle, actually. Misses the 2 shots he got off. Now leaving Virginia Tech with a 3-on-5. The retake here, and the Ospreys get that spike down.
They're in
Trades
good
coming in,
post-play
monkey
positions.
style. Oh, the smoke up there too. It's going to be cutting off their sightline, Josh. Oh, the trades, the shots, the lineups. Soup is able to take him down. Monkey Style is going to be getting one dropped. And then I do damage, and Cam following it up, leaving just Soup, the lone ranger here. And unfortunately, my friend, there is not going to be a spaghetti western in your future. That's going to be a nice little trip back to spawn. UNF Ospreys is going to be winning that round. 7-9 here. Josh, we didn't expect that 4-round streak you talked about to also come out from the Ospreys. And they're firing on all cylinders here on the offensive side.
No, I mean, I saw a run from them, but I didn't see it this early on. Both runs that I expected, they're both coming way earlier than I thought. But now this is where the rubber meets the road. We've got a full buy round. We've got a gun round between these two teams. UNF. It was huge that whenever that they won the round where Virginia Tech had their first full gun round. That's huge. That's what led to this run. But now we've evened it up a little bit. If Virginia Tech can play a little bit slowly, force UNF to play their game, force them to come to them, then Virginia Tech should be good. But UNF doing a good job of putting pressure on them. Oh, this is a big move by J-Dawn. Doesn't quite get it with the run it back though.
No such luck, unfortunately. Gonna be able to just get that second life, though. Nothing lost, nothing gained. Well, I guess you lost the ultimate ability, but, you know, at the end of the day, you get your life back, so take what you can as Soup in this drone just clearing out that mid, but you can see the offense hovering around that window middle area. They are really testing going down this B middle. A nice recon dart's going to land on the tree, spy out at least Mashu-sama. Don't believe it caught the Omen as well, but that one member is good enough, especially when they ended up having the spike.
Spike dropped.
Heading on over to C by the looks of things. The
30
Ospreys have
seconds
30
left.
seconds left.
Fire in the hole! Nowhere to run!
Oh, and the go button's hit. Kixer's going to take down one. And now you have the Showstopper coming out. You have the Hunter's Fury coming out. And that's going to pick up one. 2 gun kills, though, coming over from the Ospreys. Kixer filling up a third, a fourth. Looking for the ace, but Kixer can't get the spray control down, but that's okay. Spy Chicken covering their teammates' backside. Going to get Virginia Tech a double-digit round score.
And this is where it starts to get dangerous for UNF. This is where it starts to get they start to find themselves in a little bit of trouble, just a little bit. But you see now, Virginia Tech, honestly, Virginia Tech in a little bit of financial trouble. Look at the economy on that. You see a Spectre out there. You see a half buy with the half shields on J-Don. They're going to have that range advantage. They have the advantage of being on defense. But Virginia Tech, when they take a round, they don't just take one, they take many. And so being up 10-7, they still have a little bit of leeway. I wouldn't be surprised if they play this smart and put the pressure on early. But Cam taking down Kixer early, that's a huge loss for Virginia Tech for them to lose Kixer this early in the round.
Yeah, that's a crucial member of the team, a playmaker as well. And not having that playmaking potential as this post plant breaks down is going to be a surely lost member, or feeling the loss of that member for sure. You know, English is funny like that. Just switch the word. Funny, you know? The Ospreys, they're making sense of this defense. They're trying to make sense of where they should be going. And oh, by gosh, Josh, I mean, take a look at this. They got themselves almost a fully opened A site. Even if that Killjoy turret sniffs them out, I mean, the best you can hope for is Killjoy getting back in time, and it looks like that's what she's going to be doing, but fully preparing for that post-plant retake, not willing to give up her life. Smart choice. Oh, and actually, Monkey Style is going to find a kill on the J-Don in transition.
30 seconds left.
That's huge right there for the offense. Monkey Style is going to get out alive, but he's going to be running into a Sova here. One-on-one. Who's going to win this duel? That's going to be Soup finding the headshot first. And Virginia Tech, they are still alive and kicking here on this round. It's going to be up to Soup, though. Try and get out alive here while the Killjoy ultimate does go off. And that's going to be a tough task to defuse the spike now because it's put right in the open, wide out there. Killjoy grenade going to come down, going to try and get one. Hunter's Fury from Soup is going to be sending a few shots their way. Spy Chicken's going to follow it up with the damage dealt, trying to get the kills. Spike Diffuse coming in, but they're going to be dropping the Spike Diffuser just before it finishes. Incredible timing. Some might call it luck, some might call it skill, but UNF is trying to call the W. And I think, yes, they will be getting their 8th round on the board. The Ospreys are fighting back.
The Ospreys are fighting back hard, and you know what? This is the luxury of them being able to go on that run. And this we go back again. I want to take it back again to Virginia Tech's in the second half of this. Virginia Tech gets to their first gun round, and UNF decides to go a little thrifty and stick with those Spectres. That's what started this entire run. They end up winning that round. It helps their economy along the way, and now they're just rolling through as we see Virginia Tech scrambling to even buy stuff right now. Virginia Tech, they're up by 2 rounds, but they're in a very, very tough hole. Selfishly, I want my prediction to be right, but I would love to see the Ospreys continue to push this a little bit more and see what we can do with like a 10-10 situation. But the Ospreys are in full control as Waffle takes down Kixer really early on. Cam taking down Spy Chicken. This is a bad spot for Virginia Tech right now.
Josh, this is looking so good for the Ospreys, though. Even as Soup is able to bring back the Ospreys down to earth just a bit. They still have that 4v3. Soup jumps the corner, doesn't get spotted, though. These 2 members of the offense have not seen where Soup is, but ID Damage going to quickly take down the low health Sova, leaving 2 members of Virginia Tech here on the defense, 4 members of the Ospreys on the offense. The spike is going to be planted. Now make that one member of the defense left alive. It's Dinos, no armor. Brimstone going to have a tough time taking a 1v4, but stranger things have happened, folks. He's going to have to start with one single gunfight, but Waffle sniffs it out, stops in his tracks, and says, hey, we're coming for your VT.
Virginia Tech just isn't communicating right now. You know, we saw Soup in a bad spot with low health, puts himself in that corner, and they just wrap around both sides of those boxes. There's nothing he can do. He can't move out of that situation. You know, in that spot is probably better to back off. But Virginia Tech wants to push. They want to force. They want to be aggressive, but they're being overly aggressive. They're not pushing in the right spots at the right time. And UNF is taking full advantage of how aggressive that they're being right now. We're seeing, again, they're a little bit split. Oh, as we see the Hunter's Fury come out by Cam early on. He gets him. Can he drop him? Cam dropping Jadon with the Hunter's Fury very, very early in this round. This is very, very big. If they can move on to A side, although we see the rotation now by Virginia Tech, looks like the Ospreys could rotate over towards C. C is completely open. As UNF rotates over, they have an open C side, although there's a slight rotation back. It looks like Virginia Tech's readjusting just a little bit after the pressure stopped. This is a big round, big round by UNF.
This is really a make or break situation right now for Virginia Tech as well. This team is not going to be able to afford many more buys after losses. Mashu-sama going to pop that Empress. This is a very big commit coming in for the UNF squad. They are looking to take control of C-Site and win this round out. Mashu-sama doing what Reynas do best, wins that gunfight. But two members of his team is going to fall afterwards, leaving us with a 3 versus 3. But when you have a Reyna with the ultimate active on your side, it's going to make things a lot easier to deal with. Just going to depend if Mashu-sama can get the kills. The spike is finally going to get planted now. But keep your eye on the timer for the Empress right there. I do damage, going to find one. The Empress, it's going to be running out very shortly if she doesn't contribute to a kill. Looking to find one, but Mashu-sama cannot get the kill in time. Kicks her and Soup lining up a double kill here. And now the Ospreys, with just one member left standing here, they have to play the spike. They have to play defense around it, but they don't have the time to do so. And kicks her with a 3-piece. Keeps Virginia Tech in the lead, 11 rounds under their belt.
Virginia Tech needed Kixer to do something right there. The last couple of rounds, we've seen Kixer go down early. We saw them go down in like a mid-fire fight, and now Kixer dropping the 3-piece right there. Huge plays for Virginia Tech. And now Virginia Tech moves up. It's 11-9, but it's still not out of this for UNF. UNF's pulled themselves all the way back, and now look at the economy between the two. UNF loses the round, but they get the spike down. They still have the better economy. I mean, Waffle's in a really good place. Full armor, have a Phantom, still has 4,500. They're in a good spot right now, and Virginia Tech, they're in another we can't lose situation, or we lose all of our economy.
And something to point out is because Virginia Tech won that last round, now if they lose this following round, they've reset their loss total for credits accrued. So they're going to go back to 1,900 credits earned on a loss. And if with the credits that they have available right now, it's not what you want to be seeing. I mean, Virginia Tech really needs to pull up a victory in this round here, and the Ospreys must be aware of this fact if they want to properly punish this team. Now you can see the Killjoy utility is the only wall standing in the way of this Reyna. The Killjoy utility is focused only on A short. All it takes is one person to sneak up A long. That's going to be a bad time here. Jadon going to show up and try and help out the team, but can't get the Boombot down in time. Going to get dropped to 17 HP in a dream. Spy Chicken going to be taking down the Reyna and taking down the second as well. That Spy Chicken serving up a huge side of whoop butt, because I don't know if I could be saying the other one. And Soup with the shock arrow. Going to be dropping one. Virginia Tech is doing a fantastic job on this retake. The Showstopper committed as well. And Dinos shoring up the final elimination. I mean, honestly, at this point, I might have to ask you what the next lottery numbers are going to be, Josh, because this match is going almost exactly how you thought it would be.
You know, it's these runs. I mean, it always comes down to the gun rounds. And now look at the economy by UNF. Now, it's match point, so who cares about economy? We either win or we're done. And this is big for them, but it's little by little. Get those picks, have a player by Kickster come up. But these are the runs that these teams have been going on the entire night. And Virginia Tech, if they could, if they can win the gun round, then they get to move on to the next one, just little by little, singles and doubles all through the night. But if you give me Kickster and a Phantom and that full team, they were going to counter at some point. Now I'm not going to do full lottery numbers because I'll be off by 1. Apparently that's where I'm at tonight, and I almost said 12 or 13 to 9 too. I was so close to saying 13 to 9, but I said 13 to 8 felt right, and this has gone the exact way we thought it would. We saw a run early by UNF, then we saw Virginia Tech go on one, UNF go on another one, and now Virginia Tech possibly closing it out here with match point.
Yes, thank you for saying we as if I contributed to that prediction. Right,
you did. You were here with me. We're partners in this.
Yeah, that's the dream right there, being that guy in the group project. That's what you love to be here, folks. Virginia Tech are poised here on the defense to be taking this series. And I would mention the fact that they have yet again just a Killjoy left alone on A site. But these retakes that Virginia Tech consistently keep pulling off are so impressive. They're able to storm the site. They're able to take down Ospreys in not only the gunfights, but with their utility as well by cutting off lines of sight and knowing where their opponents are going to be. But Monkey Style with the Showstopper is going to be clearing out anything he can. And
Spike planted.
Does fire a little too soon, but enough to chunk down J-Dawn and drop the armor. That in of itself is a victory, I do believe. And now the Killjoy ultimate's going to be coming out. And just like Josh said, you want to make sure you are using all the utility you have, because if you don't get through this round, you're not seeing another round. Mashu-sama giving their life in the Killjoy ultimate to actually take down 2. And with the defender the defenders taking 4 down with the Killjoy ultimate, it's going for the defuse, it's going for the stealth, and they couldn't see the target. They couldn't see Spy Chicken. And that's Virginia Tech sneaking out the 13th round victory and taking the series 2-1.
That's absolutely incredible. Hey, you know what? That little mouse jiggle makes all the difference in the world. Get the head in the right spot, mess up their targets just a little bit. But what an we've seen them try that aggressive defuse before, and at some point it was going to work. And what a moment for it to work. But now we see Virginia Tech taking that 13 to 9. But an incredible job by UNF. And now we're going to see UNF fall to 2-5 now, and I can't stress enough how deceptive that 2-5 is, because we've seen them play another amazing squad, tooth and nail, into a map 3 deep, go on their own run. And yes, they lost, but they're a force. This is a good team. Maybe a few communication issues that they've got that they could work on. Some decisiveness needs to be changed. They need to decide quickly on what they want to do. But this is a good squad. But Virginia Tech just too much in the end. Knowing when it's 50-50 going into that map 3, especially on a map like Haven, Virginia Tech, that just slight skill gap was always going to benefit them in the long run.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you mentioned UNF falling to 2-5. On the other hand, we do see Virginia Tech move themselves up to a 6-1 record, which is a very safe record to be at. They are sitting nice and pretty at 3rd place. Looking ahead for this Virginia Tech squad, they do have a match in, I believe it's round 9. Yes, round 9. Virginia Tech is going to be taking on Penn State. Depending how these next few rounds go, we could be looking at that possibly being a battle for 2nd. Maybe even a battle for 1st if the Scarlet Knights and Penn State drop a game in an upset. I mean, these next few weeks are really going to shape up to be some interesting competition with all the different win-losses that can come out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this solidifies Virginia Tech has played some very, very tough competition. And I think that they've definitely got some issues to work on. I think they have their own communication things, but when they're on, they're on. We saw Kickster and Spy Chicken get it done for this team multiple times tonight. And this team is definitely one to keep an eye on if you're in the East region.
Very much so, and we will keep our eye on them and hopefully get an earful in our interview, because we're going to be talking to one of our victors after just a short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with an interview with Virginia Tech after this.
question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach.
Welcome back to the stream, everybody. We got ourselves a third head of this Cerberus here, and it's going to be the one, the only Kixer. And Kixer, I want to start this off quickly by just saying, what happened on that Ascent map? Because it started off so well for you guys, but then it started being a very much a momentum-based game, and ultimately it fell in the hands of UNF. So I want to get your thoughts on how that first game went, and were you surprised by that outcome?
No, I wasn't surprised that we didn't do well in the first game. Ascent is normally our best map, but that's because one of the best players on our team, Banana Strangler, was not here today. He works on Monday nights, and he normally picks up the op and is pretty destructive on Ascent. And we're also normally not very good on our first map. We didn't do a warm-up scrim today, so it just took us a little bit of time to warm up. We had a sub today. Shout out to her. She played well. But yeah, definitely, we didn't really pick up the op that much on Ascent. That's normally what we do. And yeah, that's why we didn't do too well on the first map.
Real quick, who was your sub for today?
Dinos.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
She played Smokes. I'm normally on Sentinel. I was on Sentinel on the first map. But after the first map, we decided to put me on Duelist because I was playing well. We changed up our comp a little bit to what we normally do because we had a sub. And it worked out well. I'm normally on Sentinel because I'm the IGL, so it was hard to play Duelist and be IGL,
okay.
But I think it worked out. We really fought hard on the last two maps. We almost slipped on the last map. We had a big lead, but we brought it together and closed it out. So overall, I'm really happy with how the team did. They did really well.
In map 2, it was when you guys really seemed to start rolling, and there were a lot of great call outs for, hey, we've cleared this out, let's rotate, hey, we're going to be aggressive here, we know that they're probably pull back just a little bit. What was the thought process going into map 2 whenever you got to attack and really force the issue on them, as they just couldn't seem to get it going defensively?
Yeah, on attack, we played a lot of retake. We played a lot of heavily towards one side and sort of leave the other one open. They didn't really, when we were on defense, they didn't really abuse mid that hard. So we really never had more than two people in mid. And it allowed us to sort of get our defense site, just our defense overall was pretty good. I think we were 7-5. And then on attack, we sort of changed up the tempo from the first map, where on the first map, we went really slow a lot on our attack. We did lots of defaults. On split, we really went a lot faster. And we just sort of tried to change the pace up on them. And I think it worked out. We won after losing the pistol, we won the force round, which is huge. That allowed us to get a lot of momentum. And then we won a lot more rounds after that until we lost a few and then closed it out.
talking about the way you attack whenever y'all got to split in map 3, the retake positions that you guys had on A site specifically were just absolutely on point. And was that kind of was that just a continuation of the strategy of what worked in map 2, or is that something that y'all normally do aggressively, getting in there and playing the retake?
Our team in general plays retake a lot. So we've really, one of the things we work on a lot when we scrim is our communication and our util timing and usage when we retake. So we tend to be very comfortable with playing retake. So we'll sit on the site before they come, and we'll try and bait them into using a bunch of their util just to think they need to take the site, but then we'll give it up. And then that leaves us in a position where we have a lot more util than they do, and we can go in all at once with the retake. And like I said, we do that a lot when we play our matches. So that's just what we tend to be more comfortable on, rather than trying to hold the site push just in general.
And I guess I want to round out this interview with one more question looking ahead, because now you finished out your round 7 game. You got 2 rounds left here in the split. Looking ahead for you guys, you got yourselves Liberty and you got yourselves Penn State. You think you guys are going to finish out 8-1 on the split?
We could. I've heard Penn State is decent. Because CF1 is on Monday nights.
I have too.
Banana Strangler is never here for Monday night, so we always play without him. So I think Penn State would be a difficult game. I think we might have scrimmed them or something before. I think we can definitely win that. Liberty, I think we played them before. I think we could definitely take them as well. This tonight was really hard, and it's I'm happy that we got the win. We really had to fight for it. But yeah, in general, I think we can do pretty good for the rest of the season.
Well, you guys have definitely earned the right to feel that way. You put up a heck of a performance in this match. And before we try and round off the interview and the broadcast, I want to give you a chance, Kixer, just to say any shout outs, thank yous, anything you want to say on the broadcast before we close this interview out.
Definitely just a thank you to Katie, our sub, for playing with us tonight and helping us get the W.
Very much a necessary part of the formula. Even when subs show up, that 6th person able to help you guys get a dub. Well, that's been it for our CF1 broadcast, folks. Thank you guys for coming out and watching another great edition of CF1 action. Now, we may have some more action coming up in terms of matches this week, but this Thursday, we're going to be having ourselves one of our very first extracurricular events because of all the room for activities we have in our Discord. It's going to be CF1 Fight Night happening Thursday evening in our Discord, 8 p.m. EST. We're going to have casters. We're going to have admins. We're going to have Scotty, who literally pitches a tent in the chat every night. Get out of the tent and move over to our Discord server to play some matches. So we'll see how that goes with that. But please come on by, hang out with some collegiate Valorant fans, make a few friends, and while you're at it, talk about what's happening in the CF1 community. But that's going to be everything from us tonight, folks. On behalf of myself, my partner Josh, the entire broadcast team behind us, Juke, Kiernan, Lawrence, Scotty, everybody else, thank you guys for coming out to another edition of CF1. Tomorrow evening, we have more action coming at you from the Central region, starting at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see everybody there. Once again, Beanies and Josh, we'll be seeing you guys later. Have a good evening.
And now I know my heart is a ghost.